Let's finish it off. Let's finish this off properly. Let's go. The finals is waiting for us. It's money time. Let's go.
This is it. This is it right here. Come on. Together on three, man. 1, 2, 3. Together.
Hey, we got team.
Play. Trap. How do you get open?
Rebound. Yes.
Ours just go out and knock down open shots if they're going to have a chance to win this game.
Hey, they made some threes. That's the only difference. Keep playing D. Come on. Get in.
Is Saskatchewan the team of destiny? The season began here 3 months ago. Will it end here with the home team playing for the championship? We'll find out.
Yes. Cut him off. No foul.
Edmonton won't get a shot. The Saskatchewan Rattlers will advance to the championship game on their home court. What a battle in this semi-final game. Holy smokes.
I told you keep shooting it. What happened? Knockdown. Every time. Wow.
I don't really care. We got the dub. We got the bonus. We got one more game.
Hey, hell of a win, okay? And let's come in tomorrow and go for 40 minutes together and hard and see what the hell we can do, okay? We're gonna be pretty good when we're like that. You guys seen it all year. So let's not mess around with what we're doing here, all right? Good job. We had some guys make some big plays.
One more.
Let's go.
Hey, family on three. 1, 2, 3. Family.
Listen, right from the start, you have to be the aggressors. Set the tone, rebound like crazy, and then continue it for 40 minutes.
That's good. That's the game plan right there, guys. Hey, we're too slow backing up. But players coming in. Everybody.
Just a dream start for the Honey Badgers. Is it destiny for them to be able to get to the final?
Guys, on this side of the floor, we've given up 3 offensive rebounds already. Gang rebounds are important, all right? Don't worry about the jitters. Don't take unnecessary fouls. Just keep going, all right? You're fine.
Let's go. Rebound on 3. 1, 2, 3. Rebound.
Focus.
You know you're the underdog coming into the game. You know that you have to battle for every last inch. It should be done all the time throughout the season, but in a NCAA kind of style format here where you got to win in order to advance, you got to leave it all out on the floor, and the Honey Badgers have done that here in the first half.
Guys, the uncontested threes. Holy
Effort. That's he got to unravel. Go rebound and be smart on defense. Defense on 3. 1, 2, 3. Defense.
Excellent job. Really good job.
Draw. Look at me.
Shoot, I got him. It's fine. Just keep going.
Nobody's talking to him. Big draw.
Time and place.
All right. This is good.
Yeah. Let's go. Yep. You got to win a basketball game. Nothing's going to be given to you. I am not the loudest person in the gym. Do you understand? Confidence is talking. If you're out there talking, shit doesn't go their way. You saw when a call does not go their way, it starts to break.
We have the recipe for the win. It's working out, okay? We're good. We're fresh. We're ready to go. Now, the team that stays together is going to win this game. Don't be fooled. Don't focus on the wrong things. Focus on yourselves. They are rattled, and it is, the pressure is on them. You guys keep playing tough defense. You keep doing what you're doing. You keep staying together. Don't get frustrated at external things that you cannot control. Stay together as a team. Okay, the game plan is the same. It's working out. We're going for it.
What's on 3? 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Energy, together on 3, baby. 1, 2, 3. Together.
Turn 2 into 3, Joe.
Guys making shots. People are doing what they have to do, and they're controlling the tempo.
Ryan Anderson didn't hit anything anything, and he's saying to the official he hit his hand.
Hey, ref, what was the warning for?
We're tired of them peeking after every play. Call or no
Perfect.
call.
Okay, so
that's gonna,
right when you gave the warning, 2 guys went to Tony.
I know. That's why.
Hey, stop for a second.
We got a rebound.
No, shut up. Our reactions right now are embarrassing. Sam, I can't have that on the bench. I can't have that there. You speak to each other and you figure it out.
Everything is lining up for the chance that the Honey Badgers needed to knock off the top team in the CEBL.
Listen, we need to get a stop and get the ball back. And if they don't score, we get a rebound. If we get a rebound, get the ball back.
Anderson picks up his dribble, bailed out by Boucard. Not even close. Dalibert comes down with it. No good. 2 seconds. The Hamilton Honey Badgers have knocked off the top team in the Canadian Elite Basketball League. What an unbelievable matchup that was.
I love y'all. Yeah, this is a good. We went through a f***ing war. Hey, that was one of the hardest games I've been through just from refs. I've been on some bullshit. But this right here was character building, dog. I swear to God. Facts. We stuck through it. We argue with each other, but we stay like brothers.
I am so
Hey, brotherhood.
1, 2, 3.
You can't sit back and rest. You gotta. That's the one thing for me when I played. I was always worried that I'd lose my job. Yeah. And you have to play that way, or else you don't last. The unfortunate part about everything that's come before is, for the most part, most of these leagues have been American-based, right? And then they kind of want to enter Canada, but they don't understand it, and then the teams leave, right? And they leave a bad taste in people's mouths. So, one of the questions I've been getting is like, are you back for year 2? Or like, absolutely. It wasn't even an option, but they've been burned before, right? So, but this is not, basketball today is not what it was like 20-something years ago, right?
Petro-Canada's FACE grant funding program has identified another set of deserving coaches and athletes this year, and the Bond series on CBC will continue to tell their stories. Since 1988, hundreds of developing athletes have improved their chances of representing Canada on the world stage. Go to cbcsports.ca/thebond to learn how it has changed lives.
When you take Align, you have the support of a probiotic and the gastroenterologist who developed it.
Align helps to relieve IBS symptoms like gas, bloating, and discomfort.
So where you go, the pro goes.
Go with Align, the pros in digestive health. You try to stay ahead of the mess, but scrubbing still takes time. Now there's Dawn Power Wash Dish Spray. It's the faster way to clean as you go. Just spray, wipe, and rinse. It cleans grease 5 times faster. Dawn Power Wash. Spray, wipe, rinse.
I'm feeling good. So good. I just thought you should know.
With Insalatissime Rio Mare, eating well Italian style is easy. Only high-quality tuna, selected legumes and vegetables, many delicious recipes to eat everywhere. Insalatissime Rio Mare, real Italian taste.
You know why? A smile can change everything. A child with a cleft lip or cleft palate faces a lifetime of pain and isolation. That's why Operation Smile, alongside our medical volunteers, provides safe cleft surgery to children like these, free of charge, thanks to generous donors like you. That was until we fell into a pandemic.
You only knew what I'm going through.
With each passing day, 300 more children are added to the waiting list, By December, tens of thousands more children will be waiting for surgery. Please help us keep our promise and deliver smiles to children in need when surgeries resume. Go online to waitingtosmile.ca or call the number on your screen to make a donation. Every gift leads to a smile, and each child will remember your kindness their whole life through.
When the horn sounds on tonight's game, it will be the end of an era for Saskatchewan celebrated basketball player Michael Linklater.
I feel focused, ready, determined. I've been in championship games before. I'm going to utilize my experience and leadership to help the guys as best as I can to get this win. This league is 70% Canadian content, so a lot of people, including myself, have a lot of hometown connections. So there's a lot of family and friends that have seen a lot of these players in the league grow up. So this is a great opportunity for them to come out and support them at that next level. A lot of these players play overseas, so coming home over this summer, this gives their fans and supporters an opportunity to see them firsthand. Just grateful. We got to focus one possession at a time, and if it comes down to us winning, just grateful for every moment, and that's really what you got to take from this, enjoying every second of it, because for me this is going to be the last 40 minutes of my career.
Well, let's hope for a good one today. Well, you couldn't have written a better script, so we'll see what the guys can do from here.
See you later.
Alrighty, well, enjoy the game. And again, we got to be solid emotionally, okay? One possession at a time, no matter what's going on, get on to the next play together and problem solve and find your way through the game, okay? But we got to carry the day in terms of wanting the game more, that compete. Loose balls, rebounds, hustle plays, fighting through screens. Okay, this is it, the whole summer. Let's get it done. Let's go.
3, 1, 2, 3, bam.
Okay, let's go.
Trenchant defense, rebounds, and being physical. It's a different team. And then stay together and focus together. Focus on the right things. Focus on us. Focus on the end. Focus on the championship. Focus on whatever motivates you to stay focused so that you keep your attitude within yourself, right? So that you can get the prize. You have to contain yourself for 40 minutes, guys.
Hey, let's get it, man. Champs on 3, 1, 2, 3. Yes.
Gym fans cheering on the Saskatchewan Rattlers. Now, the championship game underway. Shaq Keith with the lob. Chad Posthumous, 4 seconds into this one. The Saskatchewan Rattlers are on the scoreboard.
Walk up, come on!
Good D.
Attack! You can screen! Sam, you're on! Right, you can curl it!
Price out on him. Rattan Mays drains it.
He is feeling it right now, and that is not a good sign for the home squad.
Take your shot, man.
Let's go, move it!
Shot clock. Vegas Webster Chan from the corner. Shane Oseane with the follow-up dunk.
Oseane. What a stick back check. Both teams are happy where they're at heading into this halftime. The Honey Badgers did not play their best basketball, but they are still within 7. Game still hanging in the balance.
20 minutes away, man. Everybody keep playing well, bro. Everybody keep playing good, man.
They scored 30 points this quarter, and it's a 7-point game, imagine. And we're only down 7? It's like 3 buckets? Seriously? Come on, guys, come on. We're good, right?
High intensity, y'all. Finish on 3, 1, 2, 3, finish.
Don't settle. If we get stagnant, okay, get some movement on the backside, get into a ball screen, let's get after it so we can get into the paint. Let's go.
20 minutes.
1, 2, 3.
Perfect start to the second half for the Honey Badgers. They get a turnover early, and 2 of their big scorers see the ball go through the hoop early on.
Johnson, beautiful little dish. Shane Oseane and 1. So a chance for Saskatchewan to get a little bit of that momentum back. They're unable to capitalize. Leads to 2 for Hamilton, and we're all tied up at 50.
Rattlers just not making smart plays in the opening minutes here, and the Honey Badgers are taking advantage.
See Hamilton fired up. Ricky Turan Jr. slams his hands against the hardwood. He gets it to Linklater. Linklater looking to drive off the glass. Gets it to go. Saw that a lot of times a decade or so ago at the University of Saskatchewan.
Couple missed call on their part. We can't control, but we can't get into our own heads, right? You've all been there before. You're all performers. Relax. Okay, we're doing the good thing. It's good. It's working well. You have the point. Get X off the point. They're not ready for that. We got good movement.
Saskatchewan in the other direction with the double-digit lead.
Tino and Murphy, it's not this that we want. It's this. A big flat wall right there. Not here, there.
Just keep playing ball, man. All right? That's it. We have the lead. So we have the advantage. We use the clock, get great shots, baskets, stop.
We got it.
Can we get 3 stops in a row?
Yeah. Let's go. Rattlers, 1, 2, 3.
We have 10 minutes for our season. Let's go. Let's go. We got that 3, 1, 2, 3.
Saskatoon.
Rattlers have been embraced in Saskatoon in more ways than one. Down to 30 to go. The crowd at the SaskTel Center rises to its feet, saluting the Saskatchewan Rattlers, who are about to claim the Canadian Elite Basketball League trophy in year 1. Saskatchewan Rattlers are the champions.
And the real question is, what is destiny without pain? Without the grind? Without the boldness to shine a light where others see only darkness? To stand at a precipice knowing the knife's edge between glory and defeat, and stepping out into the darkness anyway, head held high, eyes open wide.
Feels great, that's amazing.
You see, history is made. Destiny is made by those with the vision, the courage, the grit to grasp that moment with both hands and inscribe, "This is ours." And when we look back to where it all started, scrawled across the halls of time, our league will have left our mark, forever etched into the hardwood.
Mike and I have a tremendous bond.
Popping on the west side, 'cause it's West End. Got us made 1,000, boy, it ain't face. I've been going in, I'ma close the case. I can't wait no more, man, I got it.
I'm over here, Ray. Our work pays off. Our work pays off.
I just made 1,000, blew it in your face. I've been going in, I'ma close the case. I can't wait no more, man, I got it. I ain't hearing what they say. Need a blue face, I've been caring about the race. I've been trying to eat, I need more than just a taste. Now they trying to talk, oh no, they should know their place, man, I'm ballin'.
I'll take a tumbler. When you do care so much,
All life long, laughter makes us stronger, and what we eat should do the same. That's why we love the Laughing Cow, with no added artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. The Laughing Cow, because it's better to laugh.
Here's to the experiences we create, the moments we share, wherever we are. San Pellegrino. Enhance your moments.
Hydrosense eye drops are preservative-free and made with a naturally sourced lubricant. So when you have dry eyes, Give them long-lasting relief. HydroSense eye drops in an easy squeeze bottle.
Tim Hortons Bacon Breakfast Sandwich, now even better. Our bacon is more crispy. Our English muffin is fluffy and toasty, so every bite is. Tim's Tastier Bacon Breakfast Sandwich. Come try one today.
Command strips remove cleanly, so you can make your space your own, wherever that space may be this year. Command, do no harm.
What would John Molson do to help bring Canadians together? He'd raise one to the home brews, the micro brews, and all the good people brewing great brews. He'd celebrate all Canadian beer. He'd make it Canadian.
We know what it's like for your whole world to change overnight.
To have your life affected by circumstances beyond your control.
To experience setbacks that you never saw coming.
We know what it's like to face an uncertain future.
To not be able to put a date on things getting easier.
But we know that one day they will. We know what it's like because we are Paralympians. See you in 2021.
The CEBL Championship Trophy is in the house. A quick pit stop before making its way to the Meridian Centre in St. Catharines, Ontario. Who gets to lift it? Today, 4 teams battle to become the final 2. It's Championship Weekend on CBC.
If you want to be the best, you gotta pass the test. You gotta give it till there's nothing left. Leave nothing behind. Give it your all. Your body, your heart, and your mind. Stand up, stand tall. No fear, don't stop until you reach the top. You gotta give it your all. Everything you got. You gotta take a chance, take a shot. Don't stop until you reach the top. You gotta give it your all. And that means everything you got. You gotta take a chance, gotta take a shot. Gotta take a shot. Don't stop until you reach the top. You gotta give it your all. And that means everything you got.
Championship Weekend, so let's get at it as we welcome you inside our CBC Sports Studios. I'm your host, Annie Petrillo. That's right, we're down to the Final 4, and we already know we're going to get a new CEBL champion this year. That's because the 2019 champs, the inaugural champs, Saskatchewan Rattlers, well, they've already gone home. You see, in this summer series format, all 7 teams played each other at least once, and the team with the worst record, they gone. That happened to be the Rattlers. They went home on Wednesday. So how did we get here? Well, the Edmonton Stingers, the Fraser Valley Bandits, they finished 1-2 in that round robin, so they earned a bye straight to the semis. Hamilton avenged their opening weekend loss to the Niagara River Lions. They get through by the skin of their teeth, and the newcomers making its franchise debut, the Ottawa Blackjacks, they dispatched the Guelph Nighthawks. And it's the calm before the storm. First semi-final game has the Hamilton Honey Badgers taking on the Fraser Valley Bandits. How you feeling, Javon?
I'm here with you, Andy. I'm cool as a fan.
That's right. We're chilled and laid back in the studio here, getting ready for a good one. Javon Shepard, former pro, former national team member for Canada, joining me. These 2 teams already look different from when they started this summer series 2 weeks ago, missing some big names. Let's begin with the Bandits. Cameron Forte was the story last weekend. He's still the league leader in points, but they cut him this week.
You know what? That's one of those situations where it's addition by subtraction. Fraser Valley actually got better without Cam Forte, by holding teams to 63 points per game. So it's one of those things where it just boils down to chemistry.
Yeah, it just didn't seem to work with him, so we're not going to see him. Now, for Hamilton, different story. They lost their leader, their captain, due to injury. That's Dwayne Notice, torn Achilles. How have they rallied around that?
You know what? I think they're playing for Dwayne right now. He's a guy that's been inspirational to all of them, and they've gotten better over the last couple of games. They've won 3 of their last 4 games, and, everybody's elevated their play. You have a guy like JV Mukama who's averaging 25 points and 7 rebounds in the last 2 games. So you're seeing everybody elevate, and they're coming around, they're peaking at the right time.
Let's see how these two teams match up against each other. And when you take a look at these stats, this is going to be a very close game. Hamilton, we know they're back in the semis. This is where they were last year. They made it to the finals. Fraser Valley, of course, trying to prevent them from getting there. They finished dead last season. They've been playing with a chip on their shoulder. Let's take a look at one of their players from Montreal, 29 years of age, Jahens Manigat. What does he bring?
You know what? This is the guy that stepped up in the absence of Cam Forte. He's leading the league with 3 points made with 20 and shooting at 47%. So he's a guy that the team is really anchoring on, and he's playing well in this situation right now.
Yeah, nailing the 3 points too, so he's looking good for the Bandits. They're going to step up. They've been known as this gritty team, a bit smaller than Hamilton. So we'll see how these two teams match up against each other with two different styles. Now, when it comes to Hamilton, we know there's been roster changeover, not just within this season, but from last year as well. Coaching has also changed. Ryan Schmidt has taken over, comes on over from Raptors 905, the G League, the development league for the Toronto Raptors in the NBA. This is his first head coaching job. You called it. He's looking good.
I called it. And you know what? Just to date back to that, this is a coach that's lost 5 players since the preseason, since the beginning of training camp. And I think his experience with the Raptors 905 really prepared him for this. As you know, dealing with them, you lose your rosters. It changes night in, night out. So this is nothing new to him, and he's definitely stepped up. We see him here in the semifinals. Hamilton
also showing their faith in him, because it was just last week that they also extended his contract to be the head coach through next year. So you can see the pedigree that he comes with, his resume. I spoke to Chantal Vallée, last year's head coach of Hamilton, still part of his assistant coaching staff, and she says what's great about him is he listens to all the coaches on his staff. He takes their opinions into consideration when making roster and tactical decisions. Here he is with our Amy Audibert inside Meridian Center.
Thanks, Andy. There really is a playoff vibe in the Meridian Center today. And Coach, your team, you faced adversity, roster changes, injuries. How has your group adapted and got here this weekend?
I think we've been a resilient group, and I think it's been fun to see, guys step up to the challenge. And when Dwayne went down, especially, like we kind of talked about, it's an ugly part of the game, but I think the silver lining when those kind of injuries happen is that it creates opportunities for others. And you've seen guys like JV who stepped up quite a bit. Cody stepped into a role, and then obviously you've seen Briante kind of trend upwards as the tournament's gone on. But overall, I think we just talked about when we win, we play as a group, we play team basketball.
Even at the 2 seed, this Fraser Valley team, they embrace this underdog mentality. And so you got them by 6 a week ago today, but how do you get them today?
We've got to do the same thing as far as it's going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be a dogfight, and you got two teams that are both really physical. I think they're the 2 top defensive teams in the league in the tournament. So obviously I think the team who's able to score a little bit more, obviously that's basketball, but I think at the same time you have 2 defenses that play a physical brand of basketball on that side. I think for us it's an opportunity. We got to create space and create easy opportunities, but by no means is it going to be an easy task, and they're tough, resilient, and Kyle does a heck of a job with them.
Coach, good luck today.
Thanks.
Back to you, Andy.
All right, thank you, Amy. Some quick keys. What does Hamilton need to do to win? What does Fraser Valley need to do to win?
Hamilton has to take care of the basketball. They cannot create turnovers. And Fraser Valley has to stop the transition game of Hamilton.
Let's find out what the 2 gentlemen also think about this one, who will be calling it. Let's send you back to Meridian Center in St. Catharines. It's Peter Ruckgazer alongside Joe Rasso.
Thank you very much, Andy and Javon. Well, Joe, if you're head coach Kyle Julius of Fraser Valley, the one player you don't have to worry about is Junior Cadogan. He's like a reliable old pickup truck. Every time you turn the key, it starts.
Yeah, Junior's confidence is based on him being fearless. And he plays that way. And when he leads the ball, you'll watch him. He plays in transition downhill. And he goes, and this whole team goes with him. He's been very, very good and a great leader for the team.
Now, for Hamilton, like Cadogan, you have a pros pro in Owen Claassen. You can depend on him 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah, a good big man, a very good big man who plays big all the time. Canadian trained in U Sports at Acadia, and the only player in this series who played in the FIBA World Cup. And the one thing that Owen has to make sure he does is the foul situation. Sometimes some of the offensive fouls, the moving screens, become turnovers, and that's been an Achilles heel.
So it's the number 2 seed taking on the 3rd seed on the line, a trip to the CEBL final. Andy, back to you.
Briante Weber started wearing Dwayne Notice's number last week during warm-ups, and the energy is working. Why change it? These teams met on August 1st with Hamilton winning 102-96. A repeat or redemption? Tip-off is next on CBC Sports.
This year, my family didn't go abroad.
My parents and I were just a few hours from home.
My mom found the place on Trivago. It was the best time of my life. Because I met Lisa.
Because I met Ben.
Find more than what you're searching for. Trivago. Compare accommodation offers from the leading brands and find the best deal for you. Hotel, vacation rental, and much more. Trivago.
Every day is sweet when we're serving you Blizzard treats. Like Smarties, cookie dough, Reese, and new Oreo fudge brownie. All made with our world-famous soft serve. Thanks for being our fans for all these years. And here's to many more. DQ, happy tastes good.
Hey, do you happen to have a tampon?
What size?
There's more than one size.
It's about your flow, okay? It changes, so should your Tampax. Only Tampax has 5 sizes and a leak guard braid. If it hurts to remove, go down. Leaks, go up.
Super regular. That's my combo.
Tampax, the only tampon with a leak guard braid to help give you more leak-free periods.
Time to Tampax? What's your combo?
Why does Lay's have so many flavors to choose from? Because sometimes you feel a little more playful. Growing up is so overrated.
Totally overrated.
Gotta have Lay's.
This watch tells time and takes phone calls and communicates with satellites thousands of miles above the Earth and tracks your distance underwater and tracks your activity and tells you which direction you're going and has an app that measures the electrical waves traveling through your heart, otherwise known as an electrocardiogram. So, just to reiterate, this watch tells time, among other things.
Looking for something, Jessica?
Yeah, dinner.
May I suggest black diamond cheese?
I love diamonds. Black diamond.
Let's add some pepperoni, tomato sauce, and bagels. What do we have?
Dinner.
Black diamond since 1933.
Tell me about the night I was born.
Give me my baby!
They wanted to wipe us from the face of the earth. But we kept asking ourselves, why? Are we really so different?
From the Meridian Center in St. Catharines, Ontario, it is semifinal Saturday in the CEBL Summer Series. First up this afternoon, the Fraser Valley Bandits taking on the Hamilton Honey Badgers. These two teams met a week ago. Hamilton winning that game 102-96. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. Harrison, Weber, Mukama, Young, Klassen for Hamilton, Managa, Cadogan, Capers, Duvier, and Ashalou for Fraser Valley. And Kyle Julius, he's had to retool on the run here. No Forte, he left the team, Joe. He's done a masterful job of getting his team to this point.
Yeah, Kyle's recruiting players that play the character that he wants, and he's done a great job of getting them to believe in what he wants.
And then you have Kyle Schmidt. They had a tooth and nail battle against Niagara. They got out of that one. This team was calm and cool in that situation because they gave up a lead. They had to scrap to get that win.
And they had Briante Weber. And Ryan's done a real good job of keeping lineups fresh on the floor and putting new guys into the system. These teams have played a week ago, but they're very different in that 1 week. That's what you get in a real quick series. It's anaerobic basketball.
Yeah, and both these teams have had their ups and downs in this summer series. It looked like their seasons were going to go off the rails, and they found some way to get back. And here they are, both these teams a chance to go to the final tomorrow afternoon. Glad you can join us from coast to coast in Canada. It's been a fantastic couple of weeks of Canadian basketball, and the best is yet to come. And we are underway here in St. Catharines.
Right off the bat, you can see what Marcus Capers is going to bring. Out jumps for the tip. That's just, they're going to be undersized, but a guy like Marcus Capers is going to be huge.
Here's Maniga trying to hit a three to start things off and misses it. Here's the aforementioned Briante Weber. He'll be a key figure once again in this game. Young, his pass is tipped. Back the other way, here's Capers, and Capers lays it in for two.
Yeah, great run out. They score so well off of turnovers. They have led the series in points off of turnovers, and that shows you. Great steal, great run out.
Joe, you talked about Capers. He's the vocal leader of this team. Hasn't scored to the degree they wanted, but he'll play a major role here this afternoon. Here's Klassen. Klassen's second chance. Tried to feed Weber and gave it right to Junior Cadogan. DeVivier hit an Elam winner in the last outing for this Fraser Valley team. Young, he's come on strong in this summer series for Hamilton. Jalen Babb Harrison off the mark. Young with the tip. They get the ball again. Slick move there by Young to get it to Harrison. He goes baseline in the corner. Mukama left that one short. DeVivier on the run now for Fraser Valley. Early going of this one, 2-0 lead for the Bandits.
Yeah, the Bandits will have no problem playing with a short clock, and that means they won't run down the 24-second clock unless they have to get into a half court and then get a situation that they like.
DeVivier drains a three. And Malcolm DeVivier, Kyle Julius told me, wants him to play with that Kobe Bryant Mamba mentality, get a little bit more aggressive in that game against Guelph. Fantastic outing, 14 points, 13 rebounds, and as I mentioned, the Elam winner in that one. Here's Klassen trying to get to the inside, bumps bodies with Ashalou, too strong off the glass, and the putback is good by Jalen Babb Harrison.
And the entire series, Hamilton, the entire series of the summer series, Hamilton has gone through Owen Klassen and played through him, and that doesn't mean he has to score, it means that he just facilitates. Here's what Hamilton's done a lot of. They're looking big, they're playing zone, they change defenses up quite a bit.
Maniga. Oh, good defense there from J.V. Mukama is going to go in and lays it in for the two.
And that's what makes their zone so much better when you can put J.V. at 6'8" on the top of that. He gets more deflections, and that's one of the keys that we're going to talk about. They just get real, real big.
Ashalou inside for Capers. Not strong enough. Weber now has it in the open court. Weber bumping there with DeVivier. Wants a screen from Klassen. In the corner, Khalid Young, that's in and out.
And that's a great gang rebound by Fraser Valley there. Everybody getting in the paint. They're not breaking until they board.
There's an earlier bucket from Hamilton on the break.
A great tip here. If you look at JV's length, he gets his hands on it, and then he does a great job of warding off Jahans, and that's all him. And he does that. That zone gets so wide because he can do that.
He had a coming out party in that victory against Niagara in the quarterfinals. 23 points, 8 boards in that win.
Again, another hand in the passing lane, that time by Babb Harrison, into a turnover.
And you're seeing the length of Hamilton come into play in the early going, Joe.
Absolutely. They're long at all positions, and they're going to play to that. Even Briante Weber is much taller than you think he is, but he's got these long arms, and he's very active.
Weber, ball in his hands. DeVivier trying to D up on him. Here's Weber underneath the bucket, swings it back out. Klassen can't get to it.
And great scout report by Fraser Valley on that defensive series. They're going to force Briante Weber to be a scorer and not to facilitate, and they're going to try not to let him score at the rim. So they do a great job, but watch the job they do now on everybody else. They have him locked up with their best defender, Marcus Capers, and then they deny the ball to everyone else.
Hans Maniga takes a seat for now. Klassen comes in, gives them a lot of energy off the bench, and there's a block. And J.V. Mukama, in the early going of this, he is really D'ing up.
And J.V.'s one of these players that can block shots, not because they're in front of you, because he can chase you down with his length. You watch him trail on this block, and he gets it and just knocks it out of bounds.
Ashalou couldn't convert there. Here's Weber. Weber puts it up! And off the hop here, you got Khalif Young with the throwdown.
And that's a real good play for Hamilton because they're so big. Put it where nobody else can get it.
Vivier trying to break down the bigger Young. Baseline, Capers kicks it out. Vivier down the lane, he gets knocked down, no call there.
Hamilton's playing, it almost looks like a triangle or a box in one, but the one is a spy. The one is Briante Weber, giving him a lot of freedom on defense because he's so good. Here Briante Weber, and he loves to facilitate first. His look was up all the way. Get it above the rim, nobody else can contest it, easy pass.
Beautiful throw down there for Hamilton. Okay, let's show you the keys to the game. Joe?
So the key, for Hamilton, its length is their strength. They've got to play big, and that's just not size-wise. They've got to rebound, they've got to get deflections, and then bad decisions have consequences. They've turned the ball over more than any other team in the series, and it's come back to hurt them, and it's hurt their momentum offense. For Fraser Valley, David versus Goliath, they like this attack, they like this idea, but they have to attack Hamilton's size with their speed. And finally, 50-50 balls. There's no tuxedo players on this Fraser Valley team. That's unacceptable, and you'll watch them on when it goes to a loose ball, they'll all be going for it.
They are a gritty basketball team, that's for sure.
So if you look at the zone right now.
And there's Young with a steal. Mukama moves in and gets the layup.
Again, reaching in, deflection, deflection, deflection. But if you look at this zone that they're building up, they're matching up on players, but Briante Weber is spying just like he did there.
So Hamilton by 5 here, 4:42 remaining here in the first. Briante Weber facilitating. Young throwing it down. Back to St. Catharines on the other side.
Beyond Pet Food uses natural, purposeful ingredients because your goal is Beyond's mission to help your pet thrive with recipes that include natural probiotics for digestive health. Go Beyond.
This is an athlete 20 reps deep, sprinting past every leak in our softest, smoothest fabric. She's confident, protected, her strength respected. Depend. The only thing stronger than us is you.
This is more than just mac and cheese. This is Annie's, made from organic pasta and real white cheddar cheese. Annie's, more than just food.
2 dates, 10 peanuts, chocolate chips, and sea salt. Just 4 simple ingredients. That's all. Larabar.
Does scrubbing grease feel like a workout? Scrub less with Dawn Ultra. Its superior grease cleaning formula gets to work faster, making easy work of tough messes. Dawn takes care of tough grease wherever it shows up. Scrub less, save more with Dawn.
Welcome back to St. Catharines. We're inside the Meridian Center, and I'm joined right here by the Spalding TF1000 Legacy Ball. It is the official basketball of the CEBL Summer Series. It's really nice looking, actually. It's got the CEBL Twitter handle right in front here, along with the signature of our commissioner, Mike Moriali. Now, not only does it look nice, I spoke to one of our more dominant guards in the league. You'll see him next with the Ottawa Blackjacks and Munis Tutu. He's got almost a 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio in his showing so far at the Summer Series. He told me, yeah, it looks nice, but it feels really nice. Guys, I can tell you it's soft, but according to Munis, he can also get a really nice pound on it, and he's been really efficient because of it. Guys?
Thank you very much, Amy. I'll tell you, this league has done such a great job when it comes to getting sponsorship. It's been unbelievable, the business side of things here for the CEBL.
Yeah, they've done an absolutely great job just to get this whole product on the floor. But they're doing it because there's some great basketball players in Canada, and they're getting a chance to highlight these players.
And it's great to have a company like Spalding involved. So 4:19 remaining here in the first quarter, and it's a 10-7 lead for Hamilton. Varian Nix has come in now for Capers. And J.V. Mukama, who had a real good start to this one, Joe. I mean, he's been really solid defensively.
J.V. Mukama has been very good the entire series, and particularly the last 2 games. 28, 23 back-to-back. but it's been his defense like we've seen earlier in this quarter.
Ball up for grabs, and that's going to be a foul against Hamilton.
Fraser Valley doesn't have the size, but they rebound very well and they get position, and that's a rebound that Hamilton would be disappointed in just because they got outworked.
It's a foul against Jalen Bab Harrison, his first. Klassen trying to work it inside, and Tavarian Nix hooping the harm. Yes, it is. Or are they going to have a discussion over it?
So against a shot blocker, what you want to do, you want to get to their body so they can't extend their arms. So he does a real good job of getting to his body. And in, he got him up off his feet.
So that's a foul against Klassen. I'm sure some people in Wolfville, Nova Scotia will be tuning in to watch this game. He was a star at Acadia University in the AUS.
And a good substitution because Owen Klassen has hurt them a little bit just when he gets into foul trouble. So the fact that they pull him out after his first foul is very important.
Nix can't convert on the three-point attempt. Hamilton by 1. Manny Darissa into the game now. Darissa loses the handle. Nix has it, pushes it ahead. Manigat. Kyle Johnson defended well at the rim by Hamilton.
And there was Fraser Valley again, trying to score off the turnover. They create their offense from their defense and then just fly out of there.
In the corner now, Kyle Johnson looking for options. Little bounce pass to Manigat, puts it up top to Vivier. Another kick outside adjustment by Manigat. Hits front iron, loose ball, and Briante Weber has it. Jalen Bab Harrison lays it in.
Briante Weber has shown that he's a very good quarterback. He's thrown a lot of long, deep passes as outlets. Gets the guy running down, and he's been very accurate with it.
Mid-range from Klassen. He comes right back and replies for Fraser Valley.
Fraser Valley will attack, attack, attack. Don't play, like I said, with the short clock if they have the opportunity.
Briante Weber calling out some directions. A turnover from Hamilton there. Here's Klassen.
So both teams playing to their strength there. Hamilton, and Fraser Valley, they're playing to Hamilton's weakness in that Hamilton turns it over. Fraser Valley scores off and continues.
And there's DeVivier knocking down a tray. And Fraser Valley, some more cohesion, playing a little bit better here. And now Kyle Julius a little upset with the officiating.
Yeah, so we got a timeout called after a made basket, and either the communication to the table's late. Coach Julius felt that it was too late.
So Coach Julius, there was steam coming out of his ears right there. Last couple of possessions, you're seeing Fraser Valley settled in a little bit more, Joe?
They've done a good job. They lost that one transition basket on the great pass by Briante Weber, but what they're doing is they're creating turnovers. And when you create a turnover, it's in the court, you get an advantage. And so all of a sudden they're running an advantage with numbers. So they create the turnover, and all of a sudden a 5-on-4 is an advantage, 3-on-2 is an advantage. And this is where they attack, and they're very good.
Here's Kyle Julius with what his team has to do here this afternoon.
I mean, I still think, it's just about us doing what we want to do the way that we want to do it. I don't think the game plan has changed too much from the bigger teams to the smaller teams. We've got to play our game our way. We've got to hit first, continue to hit, land body shots throughout that first half so that we're where we want to be at the half.
And that's Coach Julius. And, this team kind of in the middle of this tournament, they lost 2 in a row. They lost to Ottawa. Then they lost to this Hamilton team last Saturday, and I talked to Coach Julius before this game, and he talked about we were getting away from the game plan, and he simply told the guys, listen, we put out the game plan, let's stick to that. Don't deviate from that.
And that's why they got better through subtraction. They let a player go in Cam Forte, and they're better as a unit now because they all kind of believe in the ball's not sticking for them offensively.
Forte, I mean, he kind of sucked the oxygen out of the dressing room a little bit. And That play whistled down. Derek Cook Jr. is into the game now for Hamilton, number 11.
And this is more size that Hamilton has. When you can bring a Derek Cook Jr. who's played in the NBA G League for the Toronto Raptors, the Raptors 905. This is an experienced player that's coming off their bench with a lot more size.
Cook has only been able to average 7 minutes in 5 games in this summer series. Hasn't been 100%. Fraser Valley now in front by 1 here, 14-13, 1:54 remaining in this opening quarter. There's Klassen. Klassen inside pass. Nick's got it swat away from him. Jamel Kennedy trying to work on Klassen. Spin move. Pass, as that was Cook Jr. wasn't expecting the feed.
Yeah, Jamel Kennedy did a real good job there right to the very end. And then I think the decision, everybody thought he was shooting, and then the pass-off turned into a turnover. Playing into Fraser Valley's strength.
Kyle Johnson. Good dish there to Nix, and he put it away.
Good execution by Fraser Valley. Hamilton's changing defenses. When they take their 2 bigs off the floor, now they've gone to a man. Did a real nice job of finding the right guy off the pin down.
Manny Teresa. He's going to try a 3 here. Air ball. Johnson has it in his hands now. Under a minute now remaining in this opening quarter. Semi-final Saturday in the CEBL. Inside for Nix, he's too deep. Finds Klassen, catch and release. That rolls off the rim. Derek Cook Jr. taking it to the rack. And that's going to be an offensive foul against the Washington, D.C. native.
And not only just a foul, but a turnover. Fraser Valley gets back on defense, puts them themselves in a situation. DeVivier's a pass ahead, knows it's coming, knows he has no option, and just takes it.
So now Fraser Valley looking to go 2 for 1 here. And Maniga, they're trying to accept that pass. It goes off of Manny Derissa. It'll be Fraser Valley ball. 12 seconds on the shot clock. 28.6 seconds remaining in the opening frame. Ashalu. Klassen, you almost blew a tire there. Klassen inside. Ashalu stays with it. Tipped it to himself. And can't convert on that opportunity for Fraser Valley.
Great read by Merrick Klassen. Saw the mismatch and threw that alley-oop up to Olu Ashalu.
Here's Alex Johnson, hit a couple of big threes in that victory against Niagara. That one doesn't go.
So again, Fraser Valley they're not the biggest team, but they boxed out. They do a great job of boxing out. Here's Merrick Klassen getting in front of him, drawing another potential turnover, but getting a change of possession.
And that's what Coach Julius said about Klassen. He's not the biggest guy on the court, but he can defend big players.
This entire team could do that. They all pick it up and they do their job.
Okay, the first semifinal of the day. It started off pretty good. DeVivier knocking down a 3. Weber setting up Harris. 16-13, Fraser Valley.
All life long, laughter makes us stronger, and what we eat should do the same. That's why we love the Laughing Cow, with no added artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. The Laughing Cow, because it's better to laugh.
Here's another cleaning tip from Mr. Clean. Cleaning tough bathroom and kitchen messes with sprays and wipes can be a struggle. There's an easier way. Try Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. Just wet, squeeze, and erase tough messes like bathtub soap scum and caked on grease from oven doors. Now Mr. Clean Magic Eraser comes in disposable sheets. They're perfect for icky messes on stovetops, in microwaves, and all over the house. For an amazing clean, try Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Mr. Clean Magic Eraser Sheets.
From the world's #1 selling pain reliever, new Advil Mini Gels. Mini. Easy to swallow. Fast and effective pain relief. New Advil Mini Gels. Advil and Go.
Fraser Valley just shooting 28.6 from beyond the arc, but they knocked down a couple of trays in that opening quarter.
Yes, but you'll notice that Malcolm DeVivier hit the first one, and then they searched him out for the second one. They do a real good job of finding the hot hand, and that's a credit to their guard position. But even though they're shooting 28% from the outside, Hamilton hasn't hit a three yet.
And Fraser Valley so far in the summer series, they've shot 35% from beyond the arc. Let's take a look at some stats now from that opening quarter. Anything stand out for you right there, Joe?
Well, the rebounds I thought Hamilton did a great job early, but then you go down to the points off the turnovers. Fraser Valley got themselves back in the game late in that first quarter by creating those turnovers.
A little bit of a delay here. Now we'll get the proceedings underway. Second quarter action. First semifinal of the day. Later on this afternoon, you'll see Edmonton and Ottawa. Klassen. Mukama goes baseline. Gets it up high, and there's Klassen. Klassen with the steal. And he gets the layup.
Great defense there by Fraser Valley and Merrick Klassen, seeing that pass off, jumping the lane, and ambushing that play.
Here's Klassen against Ashalu. Klassen trying to back him down. Ashalu bats it away, and that's going to be a foul on Olu Ashalu.
So you watch Merrick Klassen read the double team, and you know where he's going. And the shooter on the perimeter's treating the three-point line like a wall. And Merrick splits it and runs down for an easy two.
Mukama now into the paint. Good feed. And he got it to Klassen, and he put it away.
Yeah, great job by J.V. Mukama to draw the double team and then find the open man at the rim.
Fraser Valley by 3. Maniga. Kyle Johnson working on Kennedy. Puts up the mid-range. Can't get it to go there.
And Kyle Johnson's going to be an important factor. Dealing with an injury throughout the series, but early in the series, he was a key figure for them offensively.
Had a groin injury earlier on in the series. He's come back here. Last couple of games, he's been very strong for this team.
So J.V. Mukama here does a great job of getting middle, and as soon as Olu Ashalu commits, he knows that the pass-off is there.
That's going to be an interesting battle here. Ashalu against Klassen. Mukama with the inbounds. Here's Kennedy. Gonna back his way in on Kyle Johnson. Little hook comes off the rim.
Fraser Valley's doing a great job of defending the post right now without using a double team. No help coming.
Hand off to Klassen from DeVivier. Down low. Ashalu, he'll kick it out. They swing it. Klassen, nice move there. The runner. Window and in.
Great score by Merrick Klassen, but the pass prior to that, his vision has been spectacular.
Here's Alex Johnson. He was looking for a call. Maniga runs the floor into the corner now for DeVivier. Rattles it down.
Sometimes bad shots with no rebounders around is like a turnover, and this is what fuels Fraser Valley.
Bandits have come on in the last little while here, 23-15. Larissa wants to drive, high glass and in. And he is fouled, and Manny Larissa will go to the line.
Yeah, one of the few times a Honey Badger's been able to get to the basket. So you take a 1-on-4 bad shot, you haven't got any chance at rebound, but you watch the run out. The ball starts passing Honey Badgers, they space the floor, force Owen Klassen to close out to the corner. And here on the and one, the ball screen coverage, because they're not helping with 5, Merrick Klassen gets caught behind it, and Manny DeRessa does a great job of shielding him and creating the foul.
That's 2 team fouls against Fraser Valley, and Marcus Capers will come in. Olu Ashalu will take a seat.
And Olu coming off the court is so important because you need Olu's presence on the floor because he can guard with size, and he's doing it without fouling.
Teresa shooting 77.8% from the free throw line. And the veteran, Junior Cadogan, will check back in. Klassen will sit down. Some good minutes there from Merrick Klassen.
Great minutes. And now Hamilton's in a situation where they're big, and Fraser Valley's got the smallest lineup they've had all day. So we're going to look for some type of matching zone here. And again, it looks like that zone with Briante Spine.
There's DeVivier. Looking to drain a three. Just missed. Take a look at Ryan Schmidt. Like Fraser Valley, they almost went off the rails in this summer series. Got everything back on track. That was a big win against Niagara, a close game. Could have gone either way.
Yeah, and I think what they've done very well of, they've got some players who've evolved as the series went on. JB Mukama, Khalid Young. They've got some players who've stepped up.
Kyle Johnson now trying to drain a triple. They get the offensive board. Cadogan wants a screen set by Capers. Johnson to Vivier in the lane. Tried to float it. Ball up for grabs, and there's Maniga. Wide open look here for Kyle Johnson. Hits the iron and comes out.
Fraser Valley doesn't score on that series, but I know Coach Julius is excited. 2 offensive rebounds, long shots, long boards. He's got guys coming from the perimeter keeping the sequence alive.
Fraser Valley, they average 42.6 rebounds a game in this summer series. Larissa trying to go pick and roll there. Capers, Euro step, puts it away, hoop in the arm. He's going to go to the line and try to convert on the three-point play.
So a bad decision on the roll leads to a run out here. Great pass, great catch. And when you got Marcus Capers as your 5-man running down the floor, he's going to outrun absolutely everyone. He's got a great hands, great catch, and nice finish.
Capers has averaged 7.8 points per game, 6.8 rebounds. Shooting just 60% from the free throw line in this summer series, and he can't make that three-point play. 25-18 for Fraser Valley. Mukama trying to get to the inside and can't. 6 on the shot clock. Klassen back to Mukama. He'll launch one and puts it down the cylinder.
Very fortunate offense there for Hamilton because they were completely stalled. And JV, who's done that a lot for them, hitting big, deep threes.
Here's Manica, who's been hitting all kinds of trays in this summer series, and he does it again right there.
On the first pass against the zone, Jahens is ready, locked, and loaded, and knocks it down.
Jahens Manica shooting 46.3% from 3.
So Fraser Valley's up against the zone. Manigat's got himself set up outside, steps into it. First pass against the zone. He knows he's ready to shoot it. Forces a closeout. Still, he's got it.
That is an unbelievable number. Just over 46% from beyond the arc.
And it's been consistent. It hasn't been like we've had one big game, you know, where he goes 6 of 6. He's just been that steady shooter the entire series.
He was 6 of 9 from 3 in that victory against Guelph. Last game that this Fraser Valley Bandits team played in. That was a win that allowed them to get the bye here into the semifinals, and there's Junior Cadogan hitting it for 2.
So an adjustment Fraser Valley has made is they're starting to screen that matchup there and getting their players to the elbow to make decisions.
Hamilton down by 7. Klassen trying to work inside. And Klassen, that was a tough bucket. He worked hard for that one.
He worked real hard, but what Fraser Valley did a good job of, they dared him to shoot it. They said, we're going to protect the middle. We are going to protect the middle and not give you, we'll force you to take shots that we don't think you're good at.
It's a foul against Fraser Valley. Kyle Julius not happy with that call. He's got to be careful here. He doesn't get teed up. Here's Owen Klassen, the Kingston native, working hard on the inside. Fraser Valley by 5.
Tim's camps can be life-changing for youth who need it most. This summer, we're coming together virtually.
At Tim's camp, everyone always supports each other, no matter what walk of life they come from.
At Tim's camp, no one judges me, and everyone here is invested in helping me find the best version of myself.
Tim's camp has definitely led me to prepare for my career, and it's also shown me that my limits are really non-existent.
Every coffee you buy on August 12th will change a kid's life, like it did for me.
Does scrubbing grease feel like a workout? Scrub less with Dawn Ultra. Its superior grease cleaning formula gets to work faster, making easy work of tough messes. Dawn is a go-to grease cleaner throughout the kitchen too. Keep a bottle in the laundry room to pre-treat greasy stains. And keep Dawn in the garage to lift grease off car rims. It's even gentle enough to clean wildlife affected by oil. Dawn's grease cleaning power takes care of tough grease wherever it shows up. Scrub less, save more with Dawn.
Merrick Klassen, 6'1", point guard for the Fraser Valley Bandits. Point Loma, San Diego, hometown's Abbotsford, and I'd like to say a quick shout out to my wife, 6 months pregnant. She's beautiful, love you.
And Merrick Klassen, boy, what a great player, plays in the Ukrainian Super League, and one of the key figures on this Fraser Valley Bandits team.
Led the CEBL last year in assists, and he's an assist-first point guard, but today they've needed him to shoot, and he's 3 of 4 from the twos, and he's got 6 points.
Okay, let's go over to Amy Adelbert with more on Merrick Klassen.
Well, not only was he great last year, he was also the only returning player on this Bandits team coming into this summer series. He's also the only guy that's never played for Kyle Julius. But what Merrick told me yesterday, he said as soon as Kyle got announced that he got the job, he knew he wanted to come play for him, because in the basketball loop, he knew that Kyle gets the best out of his guys in a short amount of time. He also was told, don't come if you're not willing to work. Now that the summer series is almost over, Merrick told me that he absolutely loves the leadership that Kyle brings. He's detailed, he's tough, he sets up Euro actions, and above all else, he's a former player himself, so he really relates to the guys.
Thank you very much, Amy. Started his pro career in the British Pro League. De Vivier, Eagles window went in. Malcolm De Vivier, the last couple of games, he has played some outstanding ball for this Fraser Valley team.
And the ultimate bulldog there, Junior Kadugich, gets the offensive rebound over Owen Klassen to keep that play alive.
32-28 for Fraser Valley. De Vivier around the free throw line. Can't make that bucket. 3:34 remaining here in the second quarter. Here's Mukama. He is accurate here on that shot.
And that's a good read by J.B. Mukama, because they switched and had Olu Ashlu on him. And therefore, Owen Klassen was being guarded by a smaller guy inside if he missed it.
Capers can't hang on to the ball. Behind the back feed, Briante Weber getting it to Mukama, and a good stretch here for Hamilton.
Yeah, this starting unit for Hamilton has been the key to the game. They get tips, they create the turnovers because they steal the ball, and it's their length and their deflections, and then they're very good. This starting group has been the key for Hamilton.
Take a look at this last play here.
So we start with the deflection, and then Briante Weber's always around the ball. He's so good off the basketball, and finishes it off with the assist.
Now, we wondered, you know, when Dwayne Notice went down, who was going to step up? You've seen Young step up for this Hamilton team. You've seen Mukama step up as well.
Yeah, and Bab Harrison. The three of them have really stepped up and started playing. But Khalif Young is a great story, because here's a guy who just graduated from Providence but didn't get a chance to show himself at Providence the way he's getting to show himself now. So his confidence has been great. And J.B. Mukama playing with the NBA in Africa program, and we always knew that he was a great shooter, but you forget he's 6'8" with length.
Yeah, speaking about Khalif Young, talking to Coach Schmidt the other day, he says he competes at a high level, and he's starting to feel it offensively now, starting to feel a little bit more comfortable.
He's a player that played in the NCAA for 4 years, and you just know the FIBA game is going to fit his play better and have a chance to become a very good professional.
When he played at Providence, as you mentioned, Joe, his minutes were up and down. He didn't get consistent playing time, and Coach Schmidt has a lot of confidence here in this summer series. Another turnover. Briante Weber, he'll stop up, looking to feed the ball. Mukama again, and Mukama, he's got it going on now, folks.
And a good point guard knows how to feed the fire. And the fire right now is JV Mukama.
He was a pillar of strength in that victory against the River Lions earlier this week. Let's go now to Amy and more on JV Mukama.
Yeah, Pete, I don't know too many people that would be really happy and flattered if their boss tells them they've gained weight out of this COVID lockdown. But JV had the biggest smile on his face when I said, Jermaine Anderson, the Honey Badgers GM, was really happy you gained 10 pounds. And he said, I worked so hard. It was all about his diet. He got up at 5 o'clock in the morning to make sure he could eat 7 to 8 times throughout the day around his workouts. And of course, a smart man gave credit to his girlfriend, Shayla, her mom, Tina, and first and foremost, his mom, Charlotte, for their wonderful cooking. Guys, it takes a village. Thank you, ladies.
Get that pasta into him. Get that lasagna into him. That's how you're going to gain weight.
Then he's got to come to my house.
Turnover by Weber, and Weber, he put the clamps on Merrick Klassen. Foul against Weber.
And that's the 5th foul. Oh, sorry. What you'll find with Merrick Klassen there, good job in transition. He'll move the basketball. There'll be no pauses when he's on the floor. It won't stick into his hands long.
Manica, that's a deep 3 attempt.
We just had 2 shooters who had lots of confidence in their last shot. Both deep threes.
And Bab Harrison, look at Klassen D'ing up on Bab Harrison. That shot from Cook off the mark.
And that plays into Fraser Valley's hands. They don't want Hamilton to be big at the rim. You can be big outside shooting threes, but we don't want you to be big at the rim with second chance opportunities if you're a Fraser Valley Bandit fan.
Out of the corner of my eye, I am seeing Kyle Julius. He does not like what's going on here offensively. Here's Manigaw, off-balance shot. Shot clock was winding down. Briante Weber, 1v1 now with Kyle Johnson. Weber directing traffic. And that pass too hot to handle there over the head of Khalif Young as they have a little bit of a joke over that play.
Coach Schmidt doesn't think it's a joke because he's still classifying it as a turnover.
Under a minute now in this second quarter. Hamilton by 4. Again, Fraser Valley. They give up the ball.
Yeah, they're playing more of a traditional 1-3-1 now. But with Briante, he's always spine. They've given him a freedom to do a lot of things. They're the length, got the kick-out pass.
Cook now for 3. And Derek Cook Jr. making a contribution in this game.
That's a decision Coach Julius was ready to live with until it went in.
Maniga. And that pass over the head of Kyle Johnson as Maniga tried to feed him in the corner.
Hamilton Honey Badgers right now not only are big, they're playing big. They've shrunk the court because of their size and their length.
Take a look at Derek Cook Jr. and this jumper here.
So he hasn't played much and he missed his first 3, but he didn't think twice about this next one. He comes right at it. Don't dare me.
And there you see the bio on Derek Cook Jr. He had coronavirus, had to isolate for a bit, and you saw the effects early in the summer series. Didn't have all of his energy. He looks different here this afternoon. Saw him in the warm-up and seems to be at his best than what we've seen earlier on in the summer series.
And a very good player with a great resume. played, like I said, in the G League, and in Trieste and Serie A in Italy. It's their top division in Italy. So he's an experienced player. I just think he needed more than anyone else on this team to get his legs back.
So 20.2 seconds remaining. Hamilton up by 7. And both these teams, they kind of mirror. I know there's a size difference here between the two teams, but they kind of mirror each other. They both really hang their hats on playing good, solid D.
And that's been the runs today. It's been, points off of defense for both these teams where they've had their best opportunities.
Could be the last play of the first half. Briante Weber almost lost it to Rissa. That is a deep three, and that will do it for the opening 2 quarters of this one. And it's the Honey Badgers in front, or excuse me, trailing 39-32. Just your assessment on what you saw in the first half, Joe.
Well, I go back to what we said with some of the keys of the game there. I just thought the length of Hamilton was so important defensively, getting touches, but everything was really points off of turnovers. I thought that was the most important thing for both teams. That's where the runs came from.
Okay, let's go over to Amy now with JV Mukama.
Thanks, JV. Your 18 points have kept your team up. Where are you finding your advantages out there?
I think I'm just staying aggressive. I mean, I had a good couple last 2 games. I played really well, so I'm just going off that rhythm, staying aggressive. I'm obviously a semifinal, so there's no time not to be aggressive, so I'm just glad I'm being successful.
Yeah, and we know this Fraser Valley team, they won't stop, right? They're only down 7, and so if you were a coach, what would you tell your teammates about the second half?
I mean, we know they're going to come hungry. I mean, they've been playing hard, tough nose, pretty much all series. We know they're not going to just lay down and just give up, so we just got to come ready to match their energy.
Thanks, JV.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, Peter?
Thank you very much, Amy. JV Mukama, an unbelievable first half. His Hamilton Honey Badgers, they lead this one 39-32 in the first semifinal of the day. We'll send it back to Andy in the studio right after this.
When you take Align, you have the support of a probiotic and the gastroenterologist who developed it.
Align helps to relieve IBS symptoms like gas, bloating, and discomfort.
So where you go, the pro goes.
Go with Align, the pros in digestive health.
Taking care of yourself is an important part of active aging. And you've already formed some excellent habits. Like looking after your teeth with regular checkups. Or booking an eye examination every year. So why aren't you getting your hearing checked regularly? Half of Canadians over the age of 50 are living with hearing loss. At Connect Hearing, we've helped over 250,000 people, and we can help you too. Call this number now to arrange a complimentary hearing evaluation at Canada's most referred hearing health care provider. We have convenient locations in your community with the most advanced, discreet hearing technology. Our licensed staff can answer any questions and find a solution that fits your budget and lifestyle. Ignoring hearing loss won't solve the problem, so visit your local Connect Hearing clinic and discover why taking care of your hearing is an important part of your overall health.
The trusted way to hear today.
KFC always gives you more bang for your bucket. Like more unbelievably tender fried chicken, more delicious sides, and more moments spent together. So get more bang for your bucket with the KFC $30 sharing bucket. Order on the new KFC app.
How fast does Dove Dry Spray actually dry? Dry Spray dries in an instant, leaving these men with nothing to do in this ad. Thankfully, we've got something to fill the time, instantly putting these guys back into their comfort zone. Dove Dry Spray dries instantly and keeps you protected for 48 hours.
Terry, I love this dream, but Lotomax has draws Tuesdays and Fridays. As a professional dream coach, I think you can dream bigger.
Okay, I'll make this my own private beach. Oh, for me and my friends? Hey, guys!
What next?
Oh, at a boat. Named after my dog. Hey, everybody! Pizza's here!
Why dream to the min when you can dream to the max?
We know what it's like for your whole world to change overnight.
To have your life affected by circumstances beyond your control.
to experience setbacks that you never saw coming.
We know what it's like to face an uncertain future.
To not be able to put a date on things getting easier.
But we know that one day they will. We know what it's like because we are Paralympians. See you in 2021.
Head to the CBC Sports app and cbcsports.ca for all your sports news and stories. Mike Morreale knows how to handle pressure, but overseeing the CEBL Summer Series is a whole new ballgame. With everything going swimmingly so far in St. Catharines, the commissioner is cautiously optimistic that the bubble doesn't burst on a plan that has gone off without a hitch. Even though Jean-Victor Mukama lit it up while playing for Ryerson, his road to the pros was far from clear. Trace his path to championship weekend with Kelsey O'Brien. And here's to starting strong. Earlier this week, Canadian Bridget Carleton made an impressive first-unit debut with the WNBA's Minnesota Lynx. Watch her standout performance with us online. For more stories like this and other exciting content, head to our website. It's championship weekend here on CBC Sports, and on Championship Sunday, that pretty thing is going to be handed out to the 2020 CEBL champion. One of these teams trying to get there as we're bringing you both semifinals today. Right now, it's Hamilton with the 39-32 lead over Fraser Valley. As you know, Hamilton made it to the finals last year. Fraser hoping to get there for the first time. As we welcome you to halftime, Annie Petrillo, Javon Shepard. Let's talk about Fraser Valley. Had the lead close to the end of that first half. Hamilton taking it away there. But let's still begin with the Bandits, and they're getting some offensive help from their defense.
You know what? Fraser Valley is a team. They have the second best defense in the league, and they're a team that creates their offense from their defense. You know, so that's something that they have to continue to do and push. You know, tonight they have 11 points off of turnovers. You know, you see here, Manigat with a steal, he pushes the ball, advances the ball up the court to Capers, and an easy layup. This is something that they have to continue to do to be successful in a game like this. That's, you know, it was going to be a defensive matchup we knew this from the beginning of time. We have another steal with Klassen getting the other end of the basket. Force a tough shot here. Manigat gets to push the basketball to Vivier with a shot, easy shot in the corner. So for them to be successful, they definitely have to continue to get some steals and create offense from their turnovers, which they average about 22 points per game off of turnovers.
Yeah, they're tough under their own net, that's for sure. And when it comes to Hamilton, so we started to see it near the end, but I know you were saying this is a team, pick up the tempo.
Again, these guys, they play in transition, and that's their strength. That's been their DNA. They have to get rebounds. They have to get out, get steals, and get out on the court. Both of these teams have similar DNAs in that sense. Here you see Briante Weber push the ball full court with an alley-oop to Young. Easy basket for them. And when they're in the transition and working like this, they're at, you know, their strength. Makama here, another easy layup in transition. Briante Weber pushing the ball up the court. Again, we have Bab Harrison cutting across to the middle with an easy layup. These two teams are similar in that sense. They create a lot of offense off of their defense. Hamilton's a little bit better with, you know, playing athletically in open court. They have some bigger guys, so that's to their advantage.
Yeah, playing that long ball, just get it up court and see if they can beat Fraser, get behind that defense. And so far, that is what they were able to do near the end of that first half. They're taking it in the lead into the half. And, you know, we've been talking a lot about this Elam ending. Now, we have some stats to bring your way. Two of the players who have been hitting some winning baskets are actually in this game. Does that mean we're in for something good?
You searched a 3-star hotel. You found a 4-star experience. Trivago. Compare accommodation offers from the leading brands and get a great deal to maximize your budget. Hotel, vacation rental, more for less. Trivago.
Does scrubbing grease feel like a workout? Scrub less with Dawn Ultra. Its superior grease cleaning formula gets to work faster, making easy work of tough messes. Dawn is a go-to grease cleaner throughout the kitchen, too. Keep a bottle in the laundry room to pre-treat greasy stains. And keep Dawn in the garage to lift grease off car rims. It's even gentle enough to clean wildlife affected by oil. Dawn's grease cleaning power takes care of tough grease wherever it shows up. Scrub less, save more with Dawn.
Why does Lay's have so many flavors to choose from? Because sometimes you feel a little more playful. Growing up is so overrated. Totally overrated.
Gotta have Lay's.
At TD, we've always believed that what sets us apart is knowing our customers personally, who they are, and what's essential to them. Because to us, the best advice is personal.
Hey, Jake.
Hey, this is impossible.
After we go through some of your new financial options, I'll give you some tips. I have 2 daughters of my own, you know.
Book an appointment and get advice for what you feel is most essential with TD Ready Advice.
Okay, I've been working like 3 jobs. Probably why I never see ya. Probably why I never have time for the fake friends that won't be ya. Oh God, I've been running now. Up early when the sun is out. Not sunning out my own soul, but those real ones, they coming out. Oh, look who's reaching out. Old friends wanna feature now. They don't work, so they need it free. Ooh, go and tell everybody talking stage better be in that convo.
Welcome back inside our CBC Sports Studios. We've been saying it from the beginning. This season, the CEBL is debuting the Elam ending. So we're 23 games in. We've seen it quite a bit. What is this? Well, it was invented by Dr. Nick Elam, a PhD in mathematics who loves the game. The time ends at the first stoppage in the 4th quarter at 4 minutes or less on the game. 9 points are then added to the leading score to create the target score. This ensures that all games end on a winning basket every time. So the game ends when the target score is reached, deciding the winning team. So here we go. We've 23 games played already in the CEBL Summer Series. One trailing team at the 4-minute mark has come back to win. That was Edmonton over Niagara. The other 2, they were tied. And how about that? Briante Weber, DeVivier playing in this game. Some winning baskets.
You know what I've noticed is that, like you said, we haven't seen the wow factor in any team really coming back. But I have noticed that there's been the teams that have gone up leading into Elam time, into that frame, they've started to rush shots and take a lot of threes, whereas the teams that were in deficit kept a little bit more composure. With Edmonton now, we have seen Mr. Elam in Jordan Baker. This is a guy that he has 2 game-winning shots, and, you know, maybe going for a third tonight.
Yeah, I mean, typically the team that's leading wins, but the fact that it gets close and we have seen one win it, so you're saying there's a chance. That is what we like. I don't know about you, but I'm getting a little nervous now as we're heading into the second half here to decide who goes to the final to win that.
This year, my family didn't go abroad.
My parents and I were just a few hours from home.
My mom found a place on Trivago. It was the best time of my life. Because I met Lisa.
Because I met Ben.
Find more than what you're searching for. Trivago. Compare accommodation offers from the leading brands and find the best deal for you. Hotel, vacation rental, and much more. Trivago.
When your car console gives you, DQ gives you the 2 for $5 Super Snack Menu. Mix and match any 2 snacks, like a cheeseburger with a small sundae. All day, all for $5. Look for drive-thru and takeout options at your DQ. DQ, happy tastes good.
When you take Align, you have the support of a probiotic and the gastroenterologist who developed it.
Align helps to relieve IBS symptoms like gas, bloating, and discomfort.
So where you go, the pro goes.
Go with Align, the pros in digestive health.
Now, I don't normally like getting up in the morning, but oh, Mr. Sun is shining down on me. Here I go, I'm coming for you. Can't nothing stop me. I got some things I gotta do. I'm making a move. Study long, study wrong. Ain't nothing gonna happen.
For everyone going back to school, we've got your back with low prices. Walmart. Save money, live better.
Tim Hortons Bacon Breakfast Sandwich, now even better. Our bacon is more crispy. Our English muffin is fluffy and toasty, so every bite is. Tim's Tastier Bacon Breakfast Sandwich. Come try one today.
Voltaren Emulgel Back and Muscle Pain with a no-mess applicator. Simply pull, squeeze, and apply right where it hurts to relieve pain and inflammation at its source.
And no more messy hands. Voltaren Emel-Gel back in muscle pain.
The CEBL Summer Series comes to a close. Only one will be champion. Winner takes all. Tomorrow at noon Eastern on CBC. Auditioning for the new season of Family Feud is now easier than ever.
I'm getting excited.
Try out from the comfort of your home. Apply today and join us for Family Feud. CBC Summer.
Sounds so Canadian. It's huge. Wow.
All summer long on CBC and CBC Gem.
Well, this is the stage where it ended for Edmonton last season, but as they say, there's no better time than the present. The Stingers go for redemption as they face the expansion Ottawa Blackjacks in the second half of today's doubleheader. Stay with us. That, of course, is coming up. But first, here's Amy.
Thanks, Annie. Coach, I know fast break opportunities are really important for you guys. You're trailing right now. How can you get all those runouts?
I mean, we did that to ourselves offensively. Our zone offense was poor. We worked on it the last couple of days and we got away from it. And I think, they got all their fast breaks off our poor offense, right? So we got to be better in that area for sure.
I got to ask about JV because those 14 points really kept Hamilton in the game. How do you get him out of rhythm?
Well, we relaxed on him. We guarded him well one possession, then late we relaxed and he gets an open shot and then he got the rest in transition off of our poor offense. So we got to be better.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
All right. Peter.
Thank you very much, Amy. And there you see the brackets leading up to tomorrow afternoon's championship game in the CEBL Summer Series. And you heard Coach Julius talking there. What stood out for you?
It was points off of turnovers, I think, in both teams. But Hamilton scored 15 points off of 10 turnovers. So they're not only just scoring layups, they're scoring threes off of those turnovers.
And a big first half for JV Mukama, 18 points, 7 of 10 from the field.
And a little bit of what Coach Julius was talking about at halftime there. He said we didn't do a great job of zone offense. There they did a real nice job. They flashed Marcus Capers to the middle. They got him the ball where he could create something, and this is their only second trip to the free throw line.
So Capers to the line here. Capers in that first half, he had 6 points for Fraser Valley.
And 2 fouls. He's got to be on the floor for Fraser Valley. If they can keep one player on the floor for the entire 20 minutes the second half, it's going to be him.
Hamilton by 5. That shot no good. Here's Junior Cadogan. Gets it in the pulls for Ashalu as Klassen. He got clipped a little bit.
Yeah, he went down pretty hard on that one. But there's a couple players in this series that'll tell you that they got one from Owen Klassen somewhere along the line. So this battle is going to be the battle inside. Olu does a good job, and he just uses his arm, his first arm, gets him on the second time. So he clears out twice with his inside arm. First one may have been a flop, but second one may have just clipped him.
So Malcolm Vivier called for the foul, and here's the situation with the referees. Kevin Moore is out. He got nicked up, so Chris Bucella has come in to replace Kevin Moore.
We do things fast in the CEBL.
Didn't even notice it, Joe, in that first half.
Jumped over the boards.
6-point lead now for Hamilton. Just underway here, third quarter action. Maniga, his pass. Tried to force one to Capers. Weber for Klassen! And the big fella from Kingston throws it down.
A traditional great fast break with the big man running down the middle, and nothing but good things can happen when your big runs the floor to the rim.
See what Fraser Valley can do on this possession.
And the battle inside is as physical between Owen Klassen and Olu Ashalu.
Cadogan's shot left that one short.
So they get the turnover. This is where they've been playing really well up. But you watch it, they're running they move it, and when Owen Klassen sprints to the rim, that's what they're looking for. Great rim run by the big man.
Second foul now for Olu Ashalu.
And Owen Klassen, double foul. Those two have been giving each other the business, and I think what the referees felt was we had to call it then because both of them are just battling each other.
You see Klassen with 6 points, 5 boards already in this one. Managa has to try to defend Weber, not an easy assignment. Puts it up, oh, and Young was right there, tried the one-hand throw down and missed. Mukama shoots over to Vivier, and Mukama, he can do no wrong here this afternoon, it seems.
That rim looks bigger and bigger every time he touches the basketball.
He's picked up where he left off in that game against Niagara. Cadogan puts it on the deck, finds Capers in the corner, Capers, and boy, Fraser Valley, they needed that, Joe.
Good zone offense by Fraser Valley. And the fact that Marcus Capers flashed middle, kicked it out, and then relocated to the corner.
45-37 Hamilton. Klassen wide open, corner three, comes off the rim, Young is in there, gets that O board. Fresh 14 now, and Weber says, let's just chill a little bit here. Weber, oh, look at that feed behind the back. And we've seen that a couple of times this afternoon. And now Owen Klassen will go to the line.
Yeah, Briante Weber loves the spectacular, and he sees him there. He's an assist-first guy. Great rebound here, just because it's a big situation on it, and then all of a sudden you come out on the three, and JV still feels confident from the first half.
Technical foul against Capers, and Capers is losing his cool a little bit here. And he gives the sideboard a little bit of a kick. And just talked about Kevin Moore, one of the officials, and he kind of tweaked his back in a collision with Briante Weber. And as we mentioned, Chris Ocella, man with the ball in his hands, is taking over for Kevin Moore. Boy, it's physical for the officials.
Yeah, it's physical for everyone out there. And if he ran into Briante Weber and got hurt, thank God he didn't run into Olu Ashalu.
Or Owen Klassen here who's at the line.
Yeah, so we have the technical was shot first, and now the 2 shots for the foul will be shot here. Really important that Fraser Valley use this time almost like a timeout right now, just to regroup. Hamilton is on a long run that extended from this first half on to now. And so right now, Hamilton just got to regroup, and you've got Junior Cadogan, Merrick Klassen, this group and Olu Ashalu, they will be fine out there.
So Capers, he kicked the side plate here, the advertising board, and smashed it. So Capers is out of this game.
So second technical. And that hurts Fraser Valley just because they need him defensively. I said he's the one guy that if I'm Fraser Valley, I'd like to see on the floor for 20 minutes because he has to do everything defensively. He can guard any position on the floor. So this is a situation that hurts Fraser Valley tremendously.
Talked about how Marcus Capers is the emotional leader of this team. He got just a little too emotional in that situation. And that is a big loss, as you said, Joe, for this Fraser Valley team.
And their depth in the front court is minimal right now. So Olu's not a guy that can go more than 5 or 6 minutes at a time. So then when you pull Olu off the floor, you don't have a solid replacement. And that's what Capers was doing for them. He was playing bigger than his size just because he's such a good athlete.
So you see Kyle Julius trying to settle things down here. 45-37 lead for Hamilton. Klassen at the line, misses the first of 2.
And this may have gone back to the last game last week. If you remember, the Owen Classic Marcus Capers battle, there was a couple of situations of contact where Marcus Capers took a beating on that, just because of Owen Klassen's physical play.
Harrison now shooting 2. Fraser Valley lost that game last Saturday, 102-96. And Cam Forte, he left the team after that, and then from there, Fraser Valley really started to pick it up. They beat Niagara easily, 70-57. And they had 4 players in double figures as they beat Guelph 84-70, and that allowed them to get one of the byes into the semifinal. Right now, they've got some work to do here. 7:16 remaining in the third quarter.
And they dodged a bullet with Hamilton missing 2 free throws. They've been the weakest free throw shooting team in the series.
Inside for Klassen. And that'll be Hamilton ball. It looked like Klassen, he got hacked, no call. 7 on the shot clock. Hamilton up by 10. There's Briante Weber. Klassen bats it out, but it gives it right to Klassen for Fraser Valley. Klassen trying to take it to the rim. And that's going to be a foul on Jalen Bab Harrison.
And it just seemed like Owen Klassen just kind of lost where he was there. And then there was a long rebound, and I was surprised that Bab Harrison moved backwards on that. I thought he could contest it for it, so he's trying to move backwards.
What do you think, Joe?
Whew. Depends who you're cheering for.
Klassen, this is the first of 2.
And that's one thing you don't see very much is Merrick Klassen missing a free throw.
You see Klassen's numbers on the afternoon. 6 points, 3 of 4 from the field. Gets the second at the charity stripe. Here's Briante Weber. Over the timeline. Weber looks up a little bit of a circus shot. Makes it happen, though.
Good step through, left hand.
He's like Gumby. He can twist his body any way he wants to. DeVivier, Klassen into the corner. Maniga for 3. Maniga knocking it down big time.
And that's the best sequence Fraser Valley's had since the last 3. Where they get it, they move it, they find the open man. They do a real nice job if they move the basketball.
Fraser Valley stuck 8 now. Harrison's shot no good. Here comes Fraser Valley on the run. Maniga wide open from downtown. No, missed it. Klassen taps it to Cadogan. Here's Maniga down the lane. And he got it knocked away from him, but he was fouled.
Yeah, it was a 5-on-4 transition there, and it stayed that way. Owen Klassen was hurt on that last play and stayed down on the other court. Now has been substituted for. So Owen Klassen's positioned himself in there. And again, him and Olo Ashley were getting into it. And he went down and stayed down.
So Maniga to the line. He's averaged 14.7 points per game in this summer series. Going into this game, shot 50% from the field, and as we mentioned before, 46.3% from 3. Hamilton up by 7. Young, he can't haul that ball in.
And this is where Hamilton gets themselves in trouble. A little bit risk-reward situation there. You know, throwing a pass that maybe you're not going to get a whole lot out of, and it turns themselves into a turnover and gives Fraser Valley a chance to get back in this game a little quicker.
Saw the athletic therapist working on Klassen. Looks like his back or his oblique that's bothering him a little bit. There's a shot off the mark. Briante Weber has the board.
If you're Hamilton, you never want to change the flow of what you're doing, but you just want to make sure that you respect the turnover.
Weber, fadeaway J. They'll get a second chance opportunity here. Weber trying to break down Klassen. Here's Weber on the drive, puts it up. And Briante Weber will shoot a pair. Klassen is going to get tagged with a foul.
And that last play by Briante Weber, he made that shot 3 times, that same play against Niagara. The Elam ending winner, once at the end of the first quarter and once at the end of the second quarter. He takes it down the middle and hits that little teardrop off the backboard. Doesn't get it to drop there, but gets to the free throw line.
And Cadogan and Weber are jawing. They're having some nasty words with each other. I'm sure they're not making dinner plans.
2 players who play with swag and are the ultimate competitors. And neither of those 2 guys are going to back down.
And there you see Briante Weber with those real talented VCU teams.
Junior remind him one more time.
And now they continue to draw each other up the court. Here's Cadogan, too strong off the glass.
And it was a quick attack there for Fraser Valley. Did a nice job of finding Junior and playing him downhill.
Here's Young. And they're going to call him on the travel.
And they were fortunate because on the turnover, Fraser Valley would have had a layup coming down the other end.
8-point lead for Ryan Schmidt and the Hamilton Honey Badgers. Kyle Johnson, Cadogan, they swing it. Maniga into the corner for Nix. Can't drain that one. They'll get another opportunity here. The Vivier on the drive, the feed inside. And Tavarian Nix, he's fouled, and number 17 will shoot 2. So this Hamilton team in front by 8. Fraser Valley trying to make a rebound here in the third quarter.
Tim's camps can be life-changing for youth who need it most. This summer, we're coming together virtually.
At Tim's camp, everyone always supports each other, no matter what walk of life they come from. On August 12th, buy a coffee, change a life.
Did you know that every single flush flings odors onto your soft surfaces? Then they get released back into the air, so you smell them later. Ew, right? That's why Febreze created Small Spaces. Press firmly and watch it get to work. Unlike the leading cone, Small Spaces continuously eliminates odors in the air and on surfaces, so they don't come back for 45 days. Now that's one flush and fresh bathroom.
If we knew how many plastic bottles were thrown away every day, we would press a button. One SodaStream bottle can save thousands of bottles. SodaStream. Make fresh sparkling water at home. Make a difference.
Chantal Vallée led this team as the head coach, the Hamilton Honey Badgers, to the final. Here's what Ryan Schmidt had to say about the assistant head coach.
Oh, it's been awesome. I think for her to not only be able to come back for a second year like as an assistant, but being a head coach in this league last year, just the experience has helped me quite a bit. And then I think just her basketball knowledge is something that stood out to me from the first time we spoke. And she's been awesome. I mean, as far as like being able to help, I mean, she's really taken on a huge role within the assistants as kind of being like the lead assistant coach. And I think her game preparation shows. And when you win 5 national championships, I think like that kind of says a lot. But working with her has been awesome. And even though it's been a short little stint, we were talking the other day, I wish we were fortunate enough to be able to do it for a full season. But it's been a blast having her on board. And I think, I've learned just as much from her as I hope she's learned from me.
Okay, let's go over now to Amy Otterbert on the female presence in the summer series.
Yes, Pete, that has been very high-profile women, and in particular strong basketball voices that have been on the benches for the summer series. There you saw Chantal Vallée. You heard about that. 5 consecutive national championships at the University of Windsor. She's still a head coach there, but last year she was the head coach and GM for the Hamilton Honey Badgers, the first woman anywhere in basketball to serve as both of those in a men's professional league. Danielle Boyago joined the Niagara River Lions. She is maybe the most decorated player to ever come out of the McMaster Marauders. And the Guelph Nighthawks had Mubi Agumbiade, who played some big ball in the Atlantic 10 for Duquesne. She was with the Raptors 905 on staff last year. She was with Guelph this year. Guys?
Thank you very much, Amy. So, female presence in this summer series. And boy, you know, it can't be all about the head coach. You have to have a good staff around you.
You have to have a staff that you can learn from, and your staff has to complement you. Head coaches need staffs that will complement them. You don't want people that are exactly like you, that, you know, you need that, someone who's going to challenge you and complement your staff.
So Kyle Johnson to the line here now for Fraser Valley. 4:17 remaining here in the third.
Fraser Valley's doing a good job of using the free throw line to stay in attack distance in this game. Hamilton's coming down, making tough shots, making them, and then they come back this other end, and Fraser Valley, the last few possessions, has been able to go to the free throw line.
Kyle Johnson went to Long Island University out of Brooklyn. Played internationally for Britain. Here's Mukama. Back to Mukama. Little side adjustment, puts it up, off balance. There's Manny Darissa, moves in there, gets the offensive board and the deuce.
And that's one of the few times throughout the entire series that we haven't seen Fraser Valley gang rebound and let a free man get to the boards.
54-45, Hamilton in front of Fraser Valley. Klassen, nice fake there on Briante Weber. Can't make the shot though. Let's take a look at Manny Darissa, and he's been getting better and better throughout this summer series.
Rebound comes, Merrick Klassen takes his man. Somebody misses Manny, and Manny comes from the perimeter, free-handed, being able to get to the rim on a tough shot. And that's because of size. Two guys got stuck on Khalif Young on that and let Manny get to the rim.
JV Mukama, Manny Darissa, they played for Roy Rana, who's had a big hand in their development. Roy Rana now an assistant coach with the Sacramento Kings in the NBA. And there you see Briante Weber having a little chat there with Darissa. Talking to Briante Weber, he's always been trying to help out both Darissa and also Mukama throughout this summer series.
Okay, so here's a huge play on this run. JV Mukama's been great at swatting the ball off the rim. On a free throw, once the ball's taught, if the offensive player touches it and tips it in, it's now worth 2 points. So if you watch JV Mukama, he goes up to get it. It's a free throw. Because he tips it and goes in, now that free throw becomes a 2-point shot.
So 54-48. And there's Briante Weber with the throwdown. And he is pumped.
Great answer for Hamilton there. But Fraser Valley staying the course. They're in striking distance. They just need to play a little bit better on defense.
Speaking of defense, there's Weber. He stripped that ball away from DeVivier. Cody John on the inside. And it went off a Fraser Valley player last, they're saying.
And very fortunate for Hamilton there. So nice ball screen, a second ball screen on it. They don't rotate. And then the loose ball here creates a turnover. He's been doing that. He's been leading the series in steals, and they start their offense.
Doing it at both ends. 7 points on the afternoon for the Hamilton Honey Badgers here.
You know, coach's influence, and Fraser Valley is are extensions of Coach Julius. But this Hamilton team has been able to pick up their confidence from Briante Weber.
Well, Johnson had the sky to get that pass there from DeVivier. From the elbow, a little bit of an air ball.
Yeah, and Kyle Johnson's not 100%, and you can tell there. And that affects everything, the shots, whatever. In a situation like that, Fraser Valley's one of those situations. I think a healthy Kyle Johnson, not that he doesn't take the shot, I think he kicks it out for a 3 maybe.
Fraser Valley team, they're gonna miss Marcus Capers. Kicked out of this game. Here's Alex Johnson. Alex Johnson, he hit a couple of big threes in that victory against Niagara, and right there he drains one.
Did he call bank? Fraser Valley had to play 2-3 zone right now just because they don't have a solid big person on the floor.
Cadogan misses that one. They get the offensive board and the putback by Kyle Johnson.
But they're still playing with dog. They're getting on the boards.
Stuck 9 now, Fraser Valley is. 1:54 remaining in the third. Alex Johnson, catch and release, and there's Mukama. Moves in there and gets the rebound.
And playing big. He had a smaller guard on him and went right to the rim for the rebound. Knew that if it went in, fine. If not, I'm gonna be there to dunk it. So JV gets to the rim on this. He's playing out of a zone. This is the hardest thing to box out in. So as soon as the shot goes up, he's playing the shot as a miss ahead of time. Finds himself in the soft part of the zone. Nobody gets their body on him and finishes.
Fraser Valley trying to hang around here. Late stages of the third quarter. Johnson, Mukama puts it on the deck. And inside for Young.
And that's the same series that Hamilton ran to get Briante the dunk, and they played out of that same action. So they've scored 2 different ways out of the same set play.
Lawson trying to look for a reply. Misses. Hamilton by 13 now. Weber. Mukama. 53 seconds remaining here in this third quarter. Weber trying to break down the Vivier. Puts up the runner. Who's got it? That's going to be Fraser Valley ball.
Good defense by DeVivier. So on the pass off, J.B. Mukama sees the 2 guys coming. Easy pass to Khalif Young. And that's his high percentage shot.
Vivier launches one, corner 3. Missed. There's Nix. He had it and then lost it at the last second.
Would have been another great hustle rebound from Fraser Valley. A little bit of bad luck.
Ryan Schmidt tried to get Klassen back into the game.
The key thing for Hamilton here is to run the clock as low as you can.
Here's DeRissa. No good. And let's see what they're going to call this foul on. They're going to call it on Tavarian Nix.
Hamilton very fortunate. And the reason you want to go really low in the clock on that is because Hamilton starts with the ball in the end of the next quarter. What you don't want to do is leave too much meat on the bone and let Fraser Valley come down the other end and score a quick one to build some of their momentum.
So Young makes the first of 2. What? 13 points, 8 rebounds in the victory against Niagara earlier this week. The Vivier into the paint. Manica. Tough attempt along the baseline. And there you have Hamilton sitting pretty comfortable here going into the fourth quarter. They lead this one by 14. Briante Weber, J.V. Mukama trying to book their ticket to the final. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Fourth quarter action on the other side.
Every day is sweet when we're serving you Blizzard treats. Like Smarties, cookie dough, Reese, and new Oreo fudge brownie. All made with our world-famous soft serve. Thanks for being our fans for all these years. And here's to many more. DQ, happy tastes good.
Looking for something, Jessica?
Yeah, dinner.
Ah, a friend over.
Uh-huh.
May I suggest some black diamond cheese?
Oh, I love diamonds. Black diamond.
Now, let's add some pepperoni, tomato sauce, and bagels. What do we have?
Cheddar pizza bagels.
Dinner.
Born chefs.
We should keep them.
Black Diamond Cheese, bringing together meals that are beyond delicious. Black Diamond, since 1933.
Just a reminder, folks, after this game, we'll have the second semifinal of the 2020 Summer Series, and it'll be the Edmonton Stingers 5-1 in the Summer Series, taking on the new kids on the block, the Ottawa Blackjacks, who are 3-3. So that should be an interesting battle. And Briante Weber really picking up the pace here in this contest, Joe.
And putting up some crooked numbers and steals. He's got 9 rebounds, 7 points. He's got 5 assists. He's just doing the job, and he's not a scorer, but if you give him a little bit of light, boom, it's over.
Here you see the big jam from Weber in that third quarter, and there you see, this is what we've seen throughout this Summer Series, always chatting with the young guys, passing on some of that knowledge.
Yeah, and shooting a good percentage right now, and points off of turnovers. Even though they've committed more turnovers, they're scoring more points off the turnovers that they're creating.
Talking there with Cody John. So we're underway, fourth quarter action. 64-50 in favor of Hamilton. Here's the veteran Alex Johnson. Darissa up top. Johnson wide open for 3. Off the rim, who's got it? Eric Klassen comes up with the D board. Here's Klassen. Cadogan into the lane. And that's going to be a foul on Owen Klassen.
Yeah, as soon as Owen Klassen brought his arm down, the foul started. He could have defended it just with straight size and length, but as soon as he brings that arm down.
Okay, let's revisit the keys, Joe.
So for Hamilton, we talked about they've got to be able to play with their length, and they did. All the tips and touches, and their defense has been outstanding, and bad decisions have consequences. And that's kept Fraser Valley into the game early, their bad decisions. And they started playing against the lead and made some choices, but they're doing a great job. David versus Goliath. Now Fraser Valley's smaller than they were before. They've got to get every loose ball, and they've got to keep doing it. They've got to find a way, and right now it might be the three-point shot where they've got 4 guards on the court with Olu Ashlu.
Jalen Bab Harrison. And they're going to call him on the travel.
Travel call, Fraser Valley.
This Fraser Valley team, 4-16 last year. They lost their last 6 games of the regular season, unable to make it to the playoffs. What a turnaround here in the Summer Series.
Great turnaround. And, you know, their organization stuck. They got a great fan base in Abbotsford. Great facility, great fan base. This is going to be an important franchise to the CEBL.
And Jahens Maniga threw that one away. He was trying to get it to Merritt Klassen.
Fraser Valley has to grind. They did a great job on defense here with the trap to create a turnover. They can't have any turnovers.
Mel Kennedy into the game, number 30 for Hamilton. Darissa. Maniga all over him, bumps with Darissa. And they're going to call, let's see, what is the call?
Owen Klassen on the rollback. Watch Owen Klassen after the pass off. He's prepared to get to the rim, and him and Olu Ashlu get involved in it, and Owen Klassen tries to redirect Olu, who got there for the real estate fight, and gives him a little business.
I thought it might have been against Darissa. He put that forearm right into Manica. And there's Junior Cadogan. 10-point lead now for Hamilton. Fraser Valley need to get a couple stops here. Jalen Bab Harrison, the barber, misses that one. DeVivier on the run for Fraser Valley. Cadogan does a great job of saving that pass. Maniga, that is a deep 3. Left that one well short.
And I think Jahens could have stepped into that a little bit closer. He got caught being a spectator on the pass off.
Into the post now for Klassen. Klassen, he He gets knocked down. That ball goes out of play.
Owen Claessen's usually on the other end of it, but right now Owen Claessen's going up looking to get fouled.
So this Hamilton team up by 10, 7:43 away from punching their ticket to the final.
If we knew how many plastic bottles were thrown away every day, we would press a button. One SodaStream bottle can save thousands of bottles. SodaStream. Make fresh sparkling water at home. Make a difference.
Struggling to clean tough messes with wipes? Try Mr. Clean Magic Eraser Sheets. Just wet, squeeze, and erase icky messes in microwaves. And on stovetops. For an amazing clean, get the power of Mr. Clean Magic Eraser in disposable sheets.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's hear now from Kyle Julius in the huddle with his Fraser Valley Bandits.
That's why we run the hills, baby, right here. Okay, Olu, you got a non-shooter. You got a Claessen posting up. Get your ass down there and help us. Come on, don't be staring at a non-shooter on the three-point line. Get down there. Hey, offensively, you got to hit these corners. We got to keep them pulled out and spaced on 5.
And that's Kyle Julius. And does the coach know they have decaffeinated coffee? Boy, there's a lot of energy in those huddles.
Yeah, the most important part of that huddle was there was no panic. There was absolutely no panic, just building up the confidence, telling guys what they have to do just to get better.
Kyle Julius is dialed in. He's not playing, but he is dialed in as if he's playing. Jalen Bab Harrison lost it. That ball up for grabs. Derek Cook Jr. in there.
And 3 Fraser Valley guys in there.
And now Derek Cook Jr. gives Junior Cadogan a little bit of a push, and that's going to be a tee on Cook Jr.
And that was drawn by the fact that there's no tuxedo players on this Fraser Valley team. They literally get to the ground. They do a great job. Claessen sticking in, but you just watch everybody. Nobody thinks about hitting the floor. They just hit the floor. And then on the release of the ball, this is just Olu not giving it up. Someone comes in late, and then at the very end, Cook has something to say to Junior. And whatever he has to say, Junior's heard it before.
And Junior Cadogan, he got into it a little bit earlier with Briante Weber. And I think Derek Cook Jr. has got his energy back.
And you have to remember, this team came into this series with this attitude that they got a chip on their shoulder. And they've played that way. And this is a team that won't give up. There's a lot of fight in this dog. And they will keep going. They just want to challenge now to get to the Elam time where they think they can get to striking distance.
Still in this game, 64-55. Plenty of time on the clock. Claessen trying to drive. Looking to get it to Vivier. And turned it over. Manny Darissa under pressure there from Claessen. Here's Johnson. Lost it, got it back again. Shot clock winding down. Spinning, twisting, turning. Nice feed right there on the inside as he was looking for Young, and Young got hacked.
Alex Johnson's done a great job of coming off the bench. He probes, he probes, he probes, and then at the very end, with 4 seconds on the shot clock, he finds Khalif Young. So he attacked the basket not to get buried, but he attacked the probe to look for the open shooter.
Alex Johnson, an 8-year pro, and talking to Coach Schmidt, calming influence for this team coming off the bench.
Yeah, and came out of North Carolina State with the nickname Superman, Alex Superman Johnson. He's a great athlete, but you're right, he's a veteran that has made big shots to get in the quarterfinals, he knocked down 2 threes in the third quarter coming off the bench, and we saw the bank he made here today.
And you just saw again Junior Cadogan and Briante Weber having a little chat there. And that's a big three from Merrick Clausen, corner triple.
Good zone attack. Again, Merrick Clausen probed, relocated, and Jahen's found him.
65-58 Hamilton. Weber got that poked away from Malcolm DeVivier.
Over and back, Bandits basketball.
And because it hit Hamilton in the front court, even though it was knocked off the Hamilton player, it falls in the back court. So DeVivier does a great job here of reaching in, rolls it off of Briante's leg, and it's a turnover.
Maniga. Cadogan. Can't get the three. Ashalu went in there, got the offensive rebound.
And knew enough to stay down without trying to roll around. So the only man that could rebound in here is Olu Ashlu. He gets it. He falls down. I don't know if he hurts an ankle, but he doesn't roll and cause a turnover. Good smart play there.
Olu Ashlu comes up limping a little bit. He says he's going to be fine. He just needs a minute, he said, to walk it off. They can't afford to lose him. They've already lost Marcus Capers.
Tavarian Nix now has to play much bigger than he has.
Let's go now to Amy. She's got more on Olu Ashlu.
Well, you see Olu's such a grinder out there, and he's used to being undersized. I spoke to him yesterday about this matchup, and he smiled and said, hey, it's just another day at the job. His entire career, he's been undersized. You know, he was 6'7", so when he played in high school, he was always thrown in the post, and that's where he got that skill set. But when he got to college, it was his college coach, Kerry Rupp at Louisiana Tech, that he's told me something, he said, that stuck with me for the rest of my career. He says, it's better to play out of position on the floor than your own position waiting for it on the bench. Guys.
Here's Clausen, and they're going to call that a goaltend.
And it's a goaltend because it hit the backboard. But this is a team of great grind. Because it hits the backboard and he touches it before it hits the rim, there's the goaltend. But look at Fraser Valley grinding in here. 5-point game.
Briante Weber, his jumper, no good. Just to pick up on what Amy was talking about, Olu Ashlu in that game against Guelph, he was a monster, 17.6 boards, and one right there for Malcolm DeVivier, and he's going to go to the line.
And Fraser Valley reminded you that we're going to grind this thing through. This is a strong take for Malcolm. Tacks the ball hard, strong take after the 2-foot jump stop, invited the contact and played through it.
At the line trying to complete the three-point
So Fraser Valley really scrapping their way to get back into this one. That timeout that you heard from the head coach, Kyle Julius, has really helped this team.
It helped their team, and Hamilton may have come out there with a 10-point lead playing different, with a different intensity. You can't do that against Fraser Valley.
Hamilton by 3. That lead is dwindled. Barissa, he slipped there. Briante Weber directing traffic. And back-to-back misses there for Weber.
Hamilton's spacing with the 2 point guards on the floor right now hurt them.
Clausen. Nix trying to get up. Too strong off the glass. Getting close to Elam time. Oh, the throw up and the put down, as that was Johnson setting up Young.
And how do you attack a small team? You with your bigs. And they took advantage there of Khalif Young, put him in a situation where he couldn't do anything but dunk the ball.
5-point lead now for Hamilton. Cadogan plays catch there with Maniga, and then Junior Cadogan drilling the tray.
Junior is fearless. No concern about missing that shot. It was the right shot to take.
We're going to get a good finish here, folks. Hamilton by 2. Weber on the drive. Darissa and call against Hamilton.
Great defense by Taveria and Nix to lock up Briante Weber.
Okay, let's show you some plays in this last little sequence.
So Cadogan gets it back, gets himself reset, knows he's got the open shot. He's not thinking, he just takes it. And he just... So here on the ball screen, good decision by Hamilton to go right at Khalif Young against a smaller Fraser Valley team. And again, where do they pass it? Up where nobody else can get it.
Okay, let's show you some Elam info. Just a reminder on what you'll see here towards the end of this game.
So Elam is all about target score. The clock's off. You add 9 points to the team that's leading. So we're looking at a target score now of 76 points. The CEBL has adopted FIBA's last 2-minute rules in it. So what you can see is you'll see substitutions after made baskets, and after a timeout, teams will have a choice of taking it in the front court or back court.
And these are the numbers from the Elam ending. And boy, I was skeptical about the Elam ending going into this one. Boy, I'm a big fan now. You've had some outstanding endings because of it.
I mean, because you could win it with a 3, with a free throw. We saw one on a technical foul. But what it does is it eliminates the third factor of the clock. And the team that's behind has a greater chance of winning in Elam time than they do in regulation time, because you don't have to rush anything. It's just a matter of playing solid, stay in the course.
Yeah, it's funny how the mindset just changes for the trailing team when the clock is off. It seems like there's almost pressure off of you.
It is. And the other thing that we found in Elam time and watching all these games, the team that scores first has an advantage because it kind of steals the confidence of Elam time. So we found that the first score has been very important.
So the target score is 76. Cadogan tried to get it to Klassen. And a foul against Merrick Klassen.
And that is a great foul by Merrick Klassen, because that would have been Hamilton scoring off the transition. But the foul he committed there, he attempted at the ball, so it wasn't a deliberate foul, and they're not in the bonus. That's a credit to how they played in the fourth quarter.
2-point lead for Hamilton. Weber. Klassen looking to feed it to somebody maybe. Klassen trying to muscle his way in. Can't sink the bucket.
And Junior used his size to defend Eric Klassen and Owen Klassen's legs. He wouldn't let him get any lift.
Again, another pass goes astray. Fraser Valley, they've really had some difficulty here, especially in the second half, making their passes. And there's Manica, good defense. He'll take it to the rim. And now we are tied up, folks. 67 apiece.
Great defense. You put the ball in front of you, you're going to get someone like Jahans Monagat, you're teasing them to get it.
Going to get a nail biter here this afternoon.
Not surprised that the first basket in Elam time has been off of defense.
And Weber is fouled, and now Weber has something to say to Junior Cadogan. That conversation's been going on all afternoon long.
His first foul.
So you dribble in front of somebody with that crossover, you just allow them to stick their hand in and swipe it. If you attack them full basket or you back them in, then you've got more protection to the basketball.
Second shot here from the line for Briante Weber. Weber makes both from the free throw line. He now has 9 points here this afternoon.
You can see how wide Hamilton's zone is right now.
Stop and go by DeVivier. He tried to feed Nix. He can't make the jam attempt.
It was a great pass and better defense.
Alex Johnson from downtown, big triple.
Huge triple. Last game, Cody Johns comes off the bench, hit a 3 for Hamilton. Now you got, the super sub in Alex Johnson.
Another turnover for Fraser Valley. And they're going to call a foul on Jehens Maniga.
Good transition by Hamilton. So JV Mukama takes it right to the basket. Nice Euro step, and that foul is because of JV's length. So here's a great shot right in transition, a veteran who knows how to score and is ready to score.
Okay, now let's take us to this Hamilton huddle. What's Coach Schmidt saying to his team here? They're up 72-67.
And they're going to the free throw line. So they're going to talk about situations if we score, we don't score. But I think what they're going to talk about is that defense. Stay big, stay wide, and cover down. That last opportunity by Fraser Valley was they got to the middle. And when they get to the middle, they're going to look for that little pass off or they're going to kick it out. So I don't think he's going to change defenses. And then offensively, they're going to look at a way to score. They've now got Fraser Valley in the bonus. So now good attacks to the basket would be rewarded in the free throw line. On this end, he's just talking about perfect defense. Coach Julius is just saying, we got to defend. No gambles, risk and reward here, smart decisions, and then we got to attack that zone in transition. When they slow it down, the zone's bigger. If they can attack the zone in the full court, the zone becomes a little bit smaller.
The resilience of this Fraser Valley team, just unbelievable. They lost Marcus Capers. He was kicked out of the contest. They've just hung around, Joe. I mean, they're like a dog on a T-bone.
Yeah, they've been the most relentless team in this series. And so this, until it's over for these guys, they've got hope. That's all they want. And having no clock just says play perfect.
Chama at the line. He's had a massive game here this afternoon for Hamilton. Vivier on the inside. Maniga now, they kick it out to him, and Maniga, boy, he's gold from outside.
They played a little faster, they moved it up, they got middle, and they found the open shooter.
Briante Weber coming back looking for a three, can't make it. To Vivier. He'll bring it up for Fraser Valley. And Klassen is called for a foul.
And maybe Briante Weber was looking for the Elam winning three on that one there. So nice, another great attack by Duvivier. And he goes right at Klassen. He got Klassen to turn, easy call for the foul. But that's twice now that Malcolm has gone to the basket, strong off the 2-foot jump.
And that's what we were talking about earlier on. Coach Julius trying to get this young man here, Malcolm Duvivier, be more aggressive, take charge.
And a very good shooter, and who hasn't shot the ball real well. But I'll guarantee you, him getting to the free throw line, building up his confidence, they get it to 73. Look for Malcolm to knock down a three.
Let it go. Coach Julius says of Duvivier, he might be the most talented player we have on this team. And now Hamilton by 1 in Elam time. Weber tried to get it to Young. There's Manny Darissa. Duvivier, some good D there.
Great defense, caused the travel, got him to a jump stop. And right now, Hamilton, with that lineup on the court, wasn't too sure who they wanted to play through. So he keeps him in front of him. Ball gets to Manny Darissa, and they do a great job of keeping front. Nobody has to help off of him here. He locks him down. Everybody takes away the next pass and gets him to jump stop and one more step travel. Great defensive possession.
So some confusion offensively there for Hamilton. You saw Briante Weber and Manny Darissa bump into each other. If you're Coach Julius, what are you saying in this huddle?
I think the same thing you're saying. You've got the ball right now, so let's go at it. If they go zone, play a little quicker than we did last time. If you're Fraser Valley, get to the middle and create. Now when you get to the middle and create, the dump off is a huge, Owen Klassen's out of the game, so now that becomes more of a factor. Or you take the open three. Don't rush it, but they've got to play faster.
Hamilton team, they Looked like they went into the fourth quarter comfortable, but Fraser Valley just kept gnawing away at them, and we got a game here.
And in Hamilton's case, what they've got is Khalif Young that they got to get him to the rim. And from there, they got to search out. JB Mukama has been like 18 points in the first half, had a very good second half, but you got to get him involved in the next few possessions. He's a size mismatch inside, good free throw shooter, and he can knock down the three.
Mukama with 24 points here this afternoon, 9 of 13 from the field.
If Fraser Valley decide to take the ball in the front court, that's a 14-second shot clock now.
Cadogan weaves his way through traffic, gives it to DeVivier, misses it. Clausen gets the offensive rebound and then got it taken away by Young. Here's Alex Johnson, he's gonna try a three, misses it. Oluwaseolu gets that rebound. Cadogan, too strong, ball up for grabs. Hamilton's got it again.
I think there's been a little too much hero ball for Hamilton the last those two deep threes. They haven't taken those shots earlier in the game. Why take them now?
Ball in the hands of the right man. JV Mukama shoots over top of Oluwaseolu and misses it. So they've done that again, Joe.
Yeah, and the mismatch there was JV on Oluwaseolu, JV Mukama on Oluwaseolu, but it wasn't for a three. The mismatch was taking the ball to the basket. Hamilton's had three very poor decisions on offense.
That gives Fraser Valley another chance here, an attempt to maybe tie up this game. Here's Clausen in the corner, DeVivier. Oh, that was in and out. Ashalu is right there, gets the putback.
A lot of spectators on that shot. They were hoping it didn't go in, but they forgot to box out the biggest man on the floor. Great find, but watch Olu start boxing out now, and nobody else comes down and gets a body. Merrick Clausen's there. That's the dog in Fraser Valley. They don't stop. They just keep coming.
So now Fraser Valley 2 points away from booking their ticket to the final tomorrow afternoon.
A bad situation here. Fraser Valley might foul just so that they can't lose on a three.
Jalen Bab Harrison. The feed and the throw down again. They've been feeding Young all afternoon long, and they make it happen once again.
A foul puts somebody to the line for two and they can win it. So you got to play straight out both teams.
75-74 Hamilton. Oluwaseolu, that's a tough bucket, and he gets it. And Fraser Valley, dead last in this league last year, and now they're heading to the CEBL final.
Don't count the dog out, and what do? They get it inside. Olu with a nice little hook and go. Underneath for the reverse layup. Great finish, great identification, great heart on this Fraser Valley team.
Unbelievable. And there you see Coach Julius talking with Junior Cadogan, his Bulldog point guard. And they made it happen here. They were left for dead on the road and they came back to life. Let's now go over to Amy Audibert as she is with Oluwaseolu.
Congratulations, Olu. First thing we got to do, walk us through the game winner.
Honestly, that wasn't the play. I set the screen. I didn't get tagged. My point guard since I was like 15, 16 years old, junior, found me. I was looking for some foul contact. Nothing came. I took my time and finished on my go-to wraparound reverse layup.
I know you're not done yet, but this team finished dead last year, a finals appearance. Talk about the grit you guys are showing.
It's a whole new team. You can't judge a book by its cover. You can't judge a team by its last year's performance. We're going for the gold, man. We came here to win this.
I know you did. Go get some rest. Congratulations, Peter.
Thank you very much, Amy. Oluwaseolu. Wow, what a game. And take a look here at the winning bucket.
And it was a gamble by Briante Wember, and Olu does a great job. Maybe a little hook, but that's a patented Oluwaseolu move, and he finishes it off.
And they just scraped and clawed and just stayed with the process, and now they're heading to the CEBL final tomorrow afternoon.
Great finish. Great finish.
Unbelievable game. So, Fraser Valley, they win this one 76-75. They're headed to the final tomorrow afternoon. Let's send it back to the studio, Andy and Javon.
That's what the Elam ending is all about, but the Bandits came on in, man. They stole that right near the end. They took it. What do you make of this team going to the final after being dead last year?
Andy, this is a game where you throw out the stats, you throw out the playbooks, and this was about toughness. This was only about grit. And I said early on, if this team takes, the identity of their coach, Kyle Julius, and the passion rolls over, they're destined for success.
Well, what was he saying during that one huddle that we were listening into? This is why we run the hills. This is the moment right here. They took it to heart. They stayed in the fight. They pull off the victory. Oh, so slim, 76-75. They're in to Championship Sunday. We're going to break this down a little bit more, and then we're going to get to our second of the doubleheader to find out who's going to meet them. Stay with us.
You searched a good price. You found a great place. Trivago. Compare accommodation offers from the leading brands for every budget and get the best deal for you. Hotel, vacation rental, more options. Trivago.
Here's another cleaning tip from Mr. Clean. Cleaning tough bathroom and kitchen messes with sprays and wipes can be a struggle. There's an easier way. Try Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. Just wet, squeeze, and erase tough messes like bathtub soap scum and caked on grease from oven doors. Now Mr. Clean Magic Eraser comes in disposable sheets. They're perfect for icky messes on stovetops, in microwaves, and all over the house. For an amazing clean, try Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Mr. Clean Magic Eraser Sheets.
This is an ad for a chip so iconic, we don't need a logo. It's the three-sided crunch. You know, that cheesy, spicy, crispy, crunchy, flavor-packed bodega snack that rhymes with, I need those. An ad with no logo? It's another level.
Canada Deposit Insurance Corporation is a federal agency that protects your money when you deposit it with any of our member institutions. Look for our logo, however you bank. CDIC. See how we protect your money.
Here's to the experiences we create, the moments we share, wherever we are. San Pellegrino. Enhance your moments.
He's right. It is disgusting.
It's nothing. It's a nail fungus infection.
Ah, it's a monster!
Come on, it's not that bad. It's contagious. You can even spread it to other people.
You should really get that checked out.
We gotta kill the monster! It's nothing. It's an infection. You have to treat it. You need a prescription.
Nail fungus should be taken seriously. At the first signs, show it to your doctor and ask about prescription treatments that can be applied to the nail.
Give me 34, rabbity-babbity-doo. Give me 35. How about 36? Brandon, grab a pad. This? How about that? Ooh, I got 40. How about somebody give me 45? I got 45. I got 45.
What's going on?
Well, since we've been using Skip the Dishes so much, I figured we didn't need all of this kitchen-y stuff. So I'm working on my online auction skills. And sold to the skinny kid up front.
Did I just buy something?
Yep. And that means I can now enjoy my lunch.
Did you get me anything?
Well, there's probably leftovers in your new fridge. Not that.
Skip the dishes. You deserve great delivery.
Together, we're making a difference to stop the spread of COVID-19. As businesses reopen, practice physical distancing and wear face coverings where distancing is a challenge. To find out more, visit ontario.ca/coronavirus.
When you need relief from the toughest allergy symptoms like sneezing, nasal and sinus congestion, and itchy, watery eyes, fight back with Reactin Complete. One fast-acting, long-lasting solution to relieve all your toughest allergy symptoms. Reactin Complete.
Hey, baby.
Hi.
Welcome to paradise.
Mayday, mayday. I think something has happened to my husband.
Was everything all right when you first arrived?
Yeah, it was fine.
Maggie, you need to tell me everything.
The Sounds, this fall on CBC and CBC Gem.
Being Black in Canada. A space for Black voices and their stories. A curated place featuring news, documentaries, arts, and more.
First semifinal final game is in the books inside Meridian Centre in St. Catharines, Ontario, as the Fraser Valley Bandits pull off the narrow 76-75 victory over last year's finalists, the Hamilton Honey Badgers. They will not be going there again this year. Andy Petrillo, Javon Shepard, Fraser Valley, dead last year. You know the narrative. Here they are. They've been playing with a chip on their shoulder. Now they're off to the final. And this is a team that's been through a lot. I mean, safe to say they all been, but we said Cameron Forte, this was the best player in the league in this summer series, even heading into the semifinals, led in points. But they had to cut ties with him, rally around, and certain guys had to step up. Malcolm DeVivier was one of them in this game. What did you like about his play?
You know, with Malcolm, I liked his toughness and his grit. He's a guy that stepped up in the moment. And again, you know, in a situation like this, when we're dealing with finals and semifinals, it's not necessarily the guys that, you know, have the biggest stats, but who have the biggest heart. And tonight he performed, you know, 18 points and 8 rebounds. He just out-toughed his opponent. And it becomes down to a will of who wants it more. And you've seen that from DeVivier tonight.
Toronto, Ontario native, played at Oregon State, and then in his final year transferred to the University of Akron. So let's just take a look here as time was ticking away in the fourth quarter, what you liked about the Bandits.
You know what I like is that they outscored their opponent 26-11. So they held them to 11 points after losing, you know, the second and third quarters themselves. And again, we spoke on it earlier. This is a team that creates offense from their defense, and they start to get in a rhythm. You know, they got some steals, they got going, and they got some open shots. And then you got guys just out-tough their opponent come down the stretch to get a victory.
The Elam ending. Now, this is where it was exciting. And what we saw Hamilton do here, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seemed like they were going for that three-pointer. They were going for that magic basket, and then it just ended up getting away from them. The rebounds weren't going their way. Taking, I guess, careless chances, would you call it that?
Right. Again, and we spoke on that earlier. I find that with the Elam segment, the team that's leading tends to rush shots per se instead of saying poise. You know, Kyle Julius was extremely prepared with his team and kept them composed together down the stretch, and that's what essentially won them the game in the end. You know, I remember having a conversation with him early on, and he said, these guys counted us out. Everybody counted us out. And this guy he had his team prepared long before. These guys were preparing on Zoom, training on Zoom calls way in May before we even knew that there was going to be CEBL period. So, you know, that just goes to say a lot about him.
So when he said, this is why we ran the hills, he literally meant that because they were running hills together already in May?
They were running hills. I seen guys on Instagram and all the social networks running hills, and I couldn't understand why. But again, I had a conversation with him, and he said, no, we're running hills, and we're going through our scouting reports. Every time a team signed a player, we would go through a scouting report and break that player down. So they were definitely prepared for this moment.
So Kyle Julius loved that huddle and that we could listen in on him. So that was a great little speech. So we know that Fraser Valley Bandits, they are on their way to Championship Sunday. We've been showing off that beautiful CEBL Championship trophy, which made a pit stop here at our CBC Sports studios. So now the question just remains, who's going to actually join them for tip-off tomorrow? So one thing for certain is that no matter who it is, we will have the game for you right here on CBC Sports. So tune in at noon Eastern. And of course, you can stream it live. So stay with us because we are going to find out who's going to join them. Ottawa Blackjacks, Edmonton Stingers next.